Paul Reese Smith.
Oh, it's a PRS? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Remind me to tell you the story of my Dragon Albalone PRS in Hong Kong that I had on layaway. That didn't work. That's not supposed to happen. Here, see, we're supposed to do this.
Hi, Matthew. It's
I know what it is. I know what it. Wait. I know what it is. I know what it is. There was a guy, and his name was Dan, and he gave me none when I asked him for an intro, and that was slated for him. I never got it.
Oh.
So the old cell was waiting for him to send it to me, and that's why it was blank. Because Dan, when I said, send me an intro, he goes, no problem. In the end, we got none. Dan Nunn's in the house. So we'll just go with Judge Janine. Whatever. No, whatever, Dan.
Are you kidding me?
Don't give me any, don't give me your shit, Dan. No, Dan. Laces out, Dan. All right, here we go. Let's finish with Judge. Dan's amazing. We love Dan. I'm kidding. That actually was my fault because I just forgot to load the video. So here it is. Just
Hi,
do it.
Matthew. It's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you.
All right, Judge Janine. Thanks so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks for your congratulations. Donut Frenemies in the house. We're late. We don't have time for Judge Janine. It's really, really sweet and nice and kind and all that stuff. TheDumbShow.com. Last night we gave away 3 jackets. 3 Don't Unfriend Me custom-made embroidered jackets by Columbia, and we had 3 winners. It was incredible. Last Friday, we raised $1,500 in donations, and we gave away 3 jackets. So we want to say thank you for that. Goal tonight's $300. Last night, we came up $40 short. First time we've missed it all year. Well, except for one other time. And the reason why we missed it last night is because my daughter broke up with her boyfriend. She came on, said, Mom, Dad, I need you. We showed up. We got off the show because that's what's important. And so that's what it is. But folks, we'll try to hit it tonight. We've got Dan Nunn in the house. Let's get him in here. We've got too much to cover. Leeroy, welcome to the show first. It's good to have you here, buddy. And Dan, welcome to you. Yeah.
What's happening? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Good to have you again, bud. What's been new with you? Anything new and exciting?
New and exciting. I mean, the news cycle just keeps recycling. I don't know. I mean, I've got back issues going on. I just refreshed my meds, so I should be okay for the show. And just waiting for the MRI, and we'll see what's going on.
What's going on? What's going on with the back, man? Where's the pain?
In my legs. It's not. I don't feel any pain in my back. It's more than sciatica. It's down the front of the legs. It's in my calves.
Yep. L7 S1. Welcome to the.
It's way down there. That's what my chiropractor said. He said you need to go see somebody. You need to see a pain management doctor first. Get some imaging, and then go from there. I've already had 1 back surgery. I don't want another one. Those things suck. The recovery time is horrible.
Yes,
and it lays me up, and I don't. Also, you're spaced out on the drugs for so long. I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, let me know if there's anything. I'm talking to somebody with a 3-level fusion who's been 16 different surgeries, discectomy, spinal cord stimulator. I can help. I feel like I'm an expert at it now. And I always say, don't get surgery. Exercise is the way to go. Leroy's back's bad too, because he always carries me on the show. So he's been.
Well, I'm with you on the exercise, dude. I've got a gym in my basement. But it's like when you get to a certain point, it's like, okay, it's impossible to exercise or do any PT because you're just, you can't physically, painfully, you can't do it.
Can I take 30 seconds to explain something to you real quick that you can do, and it requires absolutely no physical activity?
This show?
No, besides that. So besides that, there's one thing you should do. And listen, I've been through it. And you fall out of a plane and you hit the ground real hard. You kind of figure out how to fix your body and what to do, especially when the VA doesn't help. Here's the one thing that I'd recommend. Real simple. When you're laying down flat at bed, and you know what I'm talking about, when you get that grab, no matter when you twist, left, right, up, down, it just hits, and you're like, oh God, fuck, So lay flat, feet not at a 45, but slightly pointed out. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take your navel button, your belly button. Keep your eyes closed. You're going full to black, and you're only focusing on your belly button. That's all I want you to do mentally. And I want you to take it and not clench your muscles, but just visualize taking your belly button and have it coming all the way up your chest, all the way around your head, all the way to your back to where the pain is in your lower back. The reason why you've got this is there's these tiny muscles that we just do not use the older we get. And essentially our traps and our back muscles will go ahead and compensate. But what that does is it creates a lot of pressure on the spine because those small muscles don't have any support for the vertebra. And if you start doing this visually just for like a minute or two every single night, those muscles will start firing. And when they start firing,
and you're visualizing you're kind of doing a pelvic tilt too. So you're getting,
but don't move. No, don't move. It's visually, this is a brain to muscle connection. This is not a physical thing. It's mentally telling your brain, and it's like atrophy. You've got atrophy in the lower back muscles. And this is something that I've given people 1,000 times. And I'm telling you, nobody has ever said it doesn't work. You give it about a month or two, and you'll start feeling improvement. And the second thing you can do physically is stand up, flatten your feet, and squeeze your ass cheeks as hard as you can together whenever you get that back pain. Okay, cool. That's it.
And also stretching out the hamstrings, toe touches. Helps the sciatic. It doesn't really help the nerve pain in the front of the legs, but it helps the sciatic for sure.
Yeah.
Something that I had noticed after I had mine. And I'm not gonna contradict Matt because he's absolutely spot on. But something that does help me is laying on a surface that is as hard as humanly possible.
Yes.
And then what you do is with your legs up and your feet on the ground, you do a little bit of a slow hip thrust.
Yep.
And what that does, in my case, is it helps align my spine. Because what happens is when I'm really feeling that pain, it's because something fell out of place.
Yeah. It's nasty, man. Back pain, it sucks. And anyone who ignores it is making a huge mistake. And you can't ignore it.
After my last surgery, I really worked on stretching. I worked on core strength. I understand the importance of that. But sometimes just things, this is not, so my last one was L1, which was, there was a compression fracture. It was completely gone. It was collapsing. My spinal cord was being severely affected. So that vertebrae is gone. And they took out a rib, they put that in there, ground it up, just one level, just S10 to L2 and fix that up. I don't think this is the same issue. This is
sciatica.
I think this is down lower.
Yeah. And listen, sciatica there's so many things that they can do, but it in the end, sciatica sucks. There's nothing you can do.
So
about
all
it.
three of us have major back issues. We're like,
I don't anymore. So I used to. And after $750,000 surgery and a $250,000 surgery, I wasn't any better. And the only thing that stopped it was trying many different sources of biofeedback. And I tried acupuncture. I tried every drug known to man. There was nothing. So biofeedback was probably the best thing. And physical therapist taught me that with the belly button trick. And man, I swear to God, once I did that, my leg raises, my deadlifts, all my exercises started to become easier because the spinal column was supported instead of just grinding on nerve tissue and collapsing on it.
And once that inflammation gets going, it's really hard to get it back to normal. I'm trying to avoid surgery at all costs, whatever it takes. The pain specialist I'm seeing now, it works at the same clinic that the guy who did my spine surgery is there. So,
good.
But I'm hoping, man, they get the imaging back and, oh, you know what? Hey, do this or that, or here's an injection that'll last you for 6 months. I don't want surgery again. I'm done.
No, the surgery's last resort. Well, listen, we have a podcast and it doesn't matter what we talk about, but these things are important. We have people in here who all have bad backs and people are saying it. Nice to see so many people get on. Sorry that it's a little slower tonight. Folks, this is the way it is for Christmas. Right now is between the 10th and the 21st is the busiest shopping days of the year. Most people are not going to be on at 7 o'clock at night. However, there's some things that are going on and a lot of stuff we want to talk about. So please share this on Twitter. We know we have Rumble listeners over here right now from Dan's show, and it's always good to have you. Let's get going. We don't just talk about backs and stuff. So you guys have had a chance. Dan, you had a chance to see Marjorie Taylor Greene. I know your take on Candace. We'll talk about that later. But MTG, what are your thoughts on her, up and quitting? When the going gets tough, we up and quit.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. I think she got up. It was really her first adversity. She was always kind of the driver of the so-called Patriot caucus or whatever it was, and then kind of everybody left. Matt Gaetz left, and then it kind of left her. And I think it's exactly what you said. I think she just kind of I can't handle this. I'm gonna quit, and it's bullshit because as soon as she faced adversity. And then she tried to blame it on Trump. She tried to blame it on the movement. Trump is the bad guy. And no, you know what? You're the one who quit because you couldn't handle a little bit of adversity against you and your family. It comes with the territory. You signed up for it. But hey, you got your millions. You're wealthy now.
Yeah, she sure did. She made quite a bit. Of course, everyone's like, oh, well, there's absolutely massive difference between Ilhan Omar and Marjorie Taylor Greene making money. And I'm like, no, there's not. One is Somali and one's not. They're all crooked. They're all politicians. Leeroy, you've had a chance. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the CNN interview, but here it is. Want to show it to you. Enjoy this. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm retarded enough for CNN.
You have to be retarded. So, you think you're retarded enough to work at CNN?
Well, I know you got the biggest retards like Caitlin Collins and Anderson Cooper and shit like that. But let me tell you something, and not to toot my own horn here, but I'm way more retarded than all of them.
Welcome to your audition, Congresswoman. As you may know, in order to...
Listen, it's not... I don't like quitters.
That may or may not be real. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
We're gonna have to see the tapes. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's fake. But the point is this: is like she made comments multiple times. I'm going to release the names. If these aren't really, I'm going to release them. She said that 3 or 4 times. And the Epstein list, right? That the survivors wouldn't have to go ahead and name him. She was going to name him. Thomas Massey was going to. Of course, they didn't name him. Of course, they didn't do anything. They never do. And then Trump basically says to her, sends her an email and says, "You're polling at 12% in Georgia. Your chances of winning are 0." And he does it nicely, and he obviously offers her some consolatory options, and she didn't like it. And that's when she flipped switch and started turning against everything MAGA. And so this victimhood that she's presenting, this is almost as bad as Candace, and it's lasted about as long. So I'm with you guys. Good riddance. I'm very happy that there's a few people leaving, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need some new blood. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, in my opinion, is not a huge loss, but it's just me saying.
No, agreed. She can go by the wayside. No one's going to miss her, and her seat will be filled by hopefully more of an America First candidate. Trump is going to be out there campaigning over the next year. He's going to. Word is from Chief of Staff that he's going to be out there actively holding rallies. So it's going to be reminiscent of the 2024 campaign.
Yep.
And that has to happen because this has to be treated as a presidential election. If we don't, we're fucked.
Exactly. I mean, that's essentially, you got him for the first 2 years. You want him for the next 2 years. You got to vote for him. But here's the thing. I heard this earlier on Fox and was watching the 5. It's the only Fox I watch ever is the 5. That's it. I don't watch Fox for any other programming. A few of the people were saying on there that they're really pissed off that Trump's having to do this, that he should be focused on the things that are important about the country. Not that he's ignoring them, but where are the Republicans? Where's the rally of Republicans coming together and touring these states and these purple and seats that are vulnerable? Because we're not going to have Trump in 2028. And yes, he can go ahead and tour and hit stuff. But what the Democrats do is a full court press. And with the fracture with the Bush, which we don't want the neocons, but it just seems that Republicans only come out to play during the presidential election and they don't carry their weight. Leeroy, your thoughts on this? And then we want to continue the theme of quitting because there's a rumor that Tim Pool is giving up his podcast again.
Yes.
I wasn't tracking anything with Tim Pool. I will say, with regard to Marjorie Taylor Greene, that she always seemed to be a fair amount of bluster. There was a lot of words, a lot of angry words. She loved to critique what was happening in Israel and Gaza. She loved to kind of promote some of the Russian propaganda. When you consider her stances on a lot of things, it really does seem like, to me anyway, that she tends to ride a lot of coattails as far as she can get them.
Right.
And that the moment she seems to be pressed with any sort of opposition, the moment she seems to encounter any adversity, she really, it's just more anger and more words, but without any real policy discussion.
Yeah.
And so she's great for the emotion. She's great for the button clicks, for the clickbait, but she doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table, which is probably why she's pulling where she is.
Kay Decker, it's happy birthday time for Kay Decker, and wonderful to have you here. And you're spending your birthday with us. That means the world to us. So thank you, and happy birthday. Listen,
Happy birthday.
I think when it comes to MTG, I think you got it spot on. We're not here to rip on conservatives, but I don't, folks, I don't do this political party bullshit anymore. I'm just going to call it like I see
don't either.
it. I was calling MTG out, and I was calling Candace Owens out. I was calling Tucker Carlson out for a long time, and everyone was like, "Oh, you're a rhino. You're this, that." You know what? We don't need to break the dichotomy down of party. And KP Kafka's, Kingdom, Phylum, Class, Order, Species, political ideology is nowhere even remotely close to where we should be focused on the value of a person. In fact, politics should be one of the last things. We should
Absolutely.
Character and merit, trustworthiness. And the best way to describe it is that am I going to have this person on my 6? Do I want somebody else on my left watching them too? And if I can trust them, great. Well, here's a situation. You've got Tim Pool. This is now, I think, the 3rd or 4th time. It seems to happen every year where he's going to quit his podcast. And I'm trying to understand it because here's the thing. I do have confirmation that he did file a police report.
About the shooting?
Yeah. The people who looked it up, researched, went to the wrong county. And I know that because I live like 7 miles from Tim Pool. I can throw a rock at him from here.
Don't do that. He'll fucking have to hire security and
thank you.
make sure
So
that-
good. So good for the words. Thank you. Yes. I was going to say, I took a shot at it and I found him. Yeah. You got to be careful. You're a very good point. So there's 2 videos, but this one is kind of his piece de la résistance and saying, you know what? And he went dark. I mean, he was throwing people under the bus, lazy people who work for me. First of all, I don't know how you have a crew of 30. I do this with a crew of 1. Dan does his with a crew of 1. It's not, all you need is a camera and a mic, bro. I mean, 30 people, if you need 30 people to do your research, you should be running a major telecast and you should be, a 24 hours news network, but not with what we do. But here it is. And let's listen to it and then we'll comment on it. And, it's so funny that the skateboard behind here is named Uncancelable. And I'm like, it's just kind of irony. Here it is.
Irony there.
Yeah.
We have 2 weeks left in the year before we go on our Christmas hiatus. I'm not a big fan of any kind of hiatus. I would prefer just to work. But it is taxing. It is grueling, of course. And there's a lot of infrastructure here that requires me to work all day, every day, Monday to Friday, with some extra work on the weekends, usually meetings. And I'm probably going to have a stroke. My health's actually pretty good. My blood pressure is great. My resting heart rate is actually around 45.
Then you're not going to have a stroke.
Haven't been able to skate in the past month or 2, the holidays and But we have to have these conversations.
Where's my recorder?
And I have them with the people, our contractors, people we work with, our vendors,
violin
partners. And one thing is clear.
Listen, I might have a stroke, but my blood pressure is perfect. My EKG is coming across 5 by 5. My cardiovascular is that of an 18-year-old. I have a resting heart rate of 6. and I might have a stroke. Well, it doesn't sound like you're gonna have a stroke. It sounds like it anyway. Just saying.
The violence will get worse.
Come on.
It is going to escalate.
Yeah.
We cannot keep going as status quo.
Does he say civil war?
Something has to change. It may be that, as we described after the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the threat to come and shoot up our studio and our workplace, we asked, at what point do we say we can't do this anymore? The cost of running Timcast IRL studio and the projects around it exceeds the amount of money it brings in.
No way.
That's just
Bullshit.
that breaking point, isn't it? For any business?
Bullshit.
If you need $100 to, run your restaurant, but you're only bringing 90, you go out of business. The issue? The cost isn't
Security.
cameras or lights. The cost is security
Come on.
because of the escalation.
Please.
It's an
Come on.
artificial
Important.
cost
Come on.
to doing
Everyone's
business
after Tim.
that we can't balance. We can't forego security, but we can't sustain it either. So I've had some conversations with our partners. Been talking
Who's
with
he
Rumble.
hiring for security?
There may be a
Jeez.
solution,
This sounds like the
and it's
Secret
going to be
Service.
It's
rapid change.
Listen, you guys need to show a little more respect. It's the U.S. Gravy SEALs from Meal Team 6. They
The
are
Gravy Seals.
the U.S. Gravy SEAls. Exid365 says, I could have sworn this title said the 14th Amendment in Dearborn. Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that for 2 hours. Those are topic highlights. So here's the cool thing. The greatest thing about this show is that if you listen, I promise you'll find out what we're talking about. Hang in there.
Very quickly. We're going to have some emergency meetings. We've already had emergency meetings for obvious reasons. And there is a possibility
0.
that the
Same.
19th is
It's the same possibility of me having a stroke.
the last episode of Timcast IRL.
Okay. All right.
We are
Okay. Let's.
He's
The
pulling a little bit of a
drama.
Yeah.
I mean, really?
He's taking a page out of Candace Owens' book here and just trying to, blow something up. How about making a mountain out of a molehill there, Tim?
Listen, getting shot at is serious, okay? And if somebody drove, first of all, it's West Virginia. Let's be honest. West Virginia, guns go off here all the time. And we're not just talking crack. We're talking rat-a-tat-tat-tat. It's Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just walk out up the hill and just unload, and you're not going to get reported. Nobody cares. West Virginia is even worse. It's serious. I know I get death threats. I get it. I understand it. I don't talk about it a lot. I don't need the attention for it. I don't want to encourage other people to do it. I don't have private security. I'm my own security. There's a gun every 10 feet. You come in this house, good luck.
Same.
Right. So, you're landmines all over the property. I mean, we got it all. But this routine, it's like viewership goes down. And how do we get it up before the holidays and get a spike is let's go ahead and say I'm going to quit. Let's say there's going to be a civil war. And I think people are starting to call him like Tim Smollett a little bit. Like it's Mog. Did he drive by and say this is Candace country? Dan, your thoughts on this? And I don't mean to belittle Tim Pool.
No, I understand. I mean, you respect what he's done. I mean, he's built a really cool platform. I'm not a regular viewer of him. I'm more of I see his clips, and if I see something that catches my attention, then I'll dig a little deeper into context of it. And he when I see him bitching like that, I'm thinking, okay, so you're so great. There's a lot of podcasters out there, tons of platforms, many of them bigger than you. And you're sitting there saying that you need security to protect yourself and yours, and you can't afford it. When your production costs are through the roof. I mean, like you said, to your point, Matt, is we have one-man shows here.
Yep.
It doesn't take a lot to do this. Some decent production, some software, a microphone, bam, you're in. I don't know why he's trying to say that he can't survive if he can't have, the security that he needs from, like you said, the Gravy Seals. It's
Meal Team 6.
Has he hired some sort of paramilitary security firm to take care of him?
I don't know.
or is he just a couple of his skater buddies hanging outside?
No,
with
it's
guns?
pretty heavy. Damani went on his show. It's pretty heavy security. It's like,
So he's paranoid.
probably, yeah. I would assume
to
he's
a
just.
degree.
I think that's fair.
I don't hear other people talking about having to have security like that. Why does he always put that out there,
Well, and-
publicly? Like,
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. He has his home where his studio is. It's a compound. I mean, it's literally a compound.
Sure.
So he's, and I
That's
have my
cool.
studio where my house is, you know?
I've got a couple of acres too. I mean, my studio's here.
Right. So, and to say it costs nothing is a ridiculous notion, because and you didn't say that, Dan, but it does. I mean, there are $1,000 of investments that it takes to get this started and doing it right. And there's monthly costs to doing this. Streaming is not cheap. Internet is ridiculous. There's a lot of prices involved here. But if you just want to get out your message, and you could get away with a couple $1,000s a month and be in a good spot.
Yes.
I understand his network is much bigger than that, but if you have 30 employees, maybe where you should cut the budget
Right.
is your staff, because that sounds like there's a lot of people not doing their job. And he complained about this for a good hour, that there were people just loafing around, and I feel for him. I do. Listen, I feel for him. Nobody should feel scared and should have people shooting at him and stuff like that. But let's be honest. This isn't Fort Knox. It's not a bank. It's not. People are going to do stupid shit. And as long as you have the basics to protect yourself, which is to have a guard or to have someone check an identity when they want to come in, you're probably going to be safe. But here's the deal. If somebody wants to kill you, all they need to do is be willing to trade their own lives. Kennedy said it. Leeroy, your thoughts on this?
When Elon first took over Twitter, one of the first things he did in order to streamline everything was he took a look at the labor force. And, Twitter has now kind of evolved into this other thing that we know and love called X. And it came at the cost of a lot of jobs. But you know what? The service in a lot of ways got better. It's more free now. So I'm with you. I think the first thing that you look at is your greatest level of expenditure. If security is that much of an issue, then you have to play that balancing act, and you have to figure out what in the budget is going to have to suffer in order for you to remain open, if you really wanted to. Or, and this is just me spitballing, or are you just trying to pull a Candace drama line, throw your name out there, because so many of the other podcasters have kind of sucked the air out of the room with regard to, Candace Owens or the Sean Ryans or the Joe Rogans of the world.
Right.
And now he's starting to see some level of serious competition that is maybe just, biting into some of his ratings a little bit. Just a thought.
That's a really good point. And I think I've tried to explain it to people when it comes to this show is, listen, we do well. That's fine. But the moment that, like, even expanding this set was carefully planned out, and we ensured that we checked at every dollar what we were spending, why we were spending it, what was the justification of the ROI on our investment. And you have to make business decisions. And if you run it like a skate park, and maybe Tim is just at a point where he's been doing this for 15 years and he wants to go skate every day. And if he wants to do that, go do it. Enjoy it. You were making $100,000 a week from RT. So hopefully you saved and invested in, to Tony Hawk skateboards or Dogtown or Breezin' or something, and you make some money. But don't,
it's funny you
don't
say that,
threaten to
because
quit every month. I mean, come on.
Right. I was literally just thinking of like the closest living relative to, no pun intended, but like a Ken Block, when he went from trying to perform with Honda Civics all the way up to that monstrous unicorn. You got to manage your budget, buddy.
Sure.
And if you're really trying to grow your business, then some things have to.
Yeah, well, I mean, how many researchers and producers does he have? I mean, it's like
a lot.
I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. And I'm grabbing assets. I'm figuring out my show. I don't necessarily even know what my show is going to be until I start seeing what the current news is, because it changes so quickly. And so I understand. I mean, you get to a certain level. Yeah, you're going to have researchers. You're going to have producers. But how many does he have on full time, salary that he somehow can't afford to do his show anymore because he has to pay for security? I'm not. So is that? And I don't know. obviously this is conjecture. I mean, is he just become so used to other people doing his job for him as far as research goes and all of that he doesn't want to go back to doing it by himself?
I don't know. He said he was working 16 hours.
Remember what got him famous?
Uh,
Remember what got him famous? It was that he would go to some of these
Street
protests,
interviews. Yeah.
And
Yes.
yes, he would do a lot of that. So maybe if that's what made him famous, then maybe buying an entire studio and doing not what made you famous to begin with, maybe it wasn't the best idea.
I don't know about that, because Tim Pool has managed to survive in this business for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of pull, and I
Respect the hustle, man, for sure.
I do. I
Absolutely.
absolutely respect the hustle. I mean, and you've got to, and I'm not knocking him. I'm not trying to tear him down. What I'm saying is dude, you don't need, in order to reassess your business strategy, you don't need to threaten to quit. Like, you don't need to do the Chicken Little shit and be like, okay, because you can only ring that bell once. And if you try to do it again, people are going to be like, bro, you did this a year ago. You can't do this.
Right.
So I just want, maybe what he should stop doing is flying people in, putting up in hotels, giving them rental cars, and paying people to be on a show. That's crazy. Like, I will never, yes, there would be a situation where I would, like,
Don't say never.
No, yeah, you're right. Like a Mike Rowe. I'm gonna get him a car. I'm gonna fly him out. I'm gonna sit him down, because that is like a top end talent. But when you got the same people who are across the freaking way, I think maybe you should pull back. It's interesting. We had somebody on YouTube who probably wants to call in. Matt Meter is calling in. Yeah, Matt, what do you want to talk about?
No, this is Jake from Ohio.
Okay, Jake from Ohio. What do you want to talk
Jake
about?
from Ohio.
I got to be quick, but this whole Tim Pool thing, Alex Jones does this a lot, and I love Alex Jones, but he always says all the time, he goes, 2 more days, we're off the air. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
This is just a common thing. I don't think Tim should be doing this. I'm not the biggest fan, but he's above this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's
But,
fair. He does it with the Civil War stuff too, and it's like, if you're going to be a prognosticator, at least be correct on what you're pretending is going to happen. When it's talking about your personal show, your finances, and you say you're going to pull it off there, you're the deciding factor. There's no mitigating circumstance except for you making that choice. So when he says, there's a really big possibility that we could go off air, then I would anticipate that if you do that 3 times in 4 years, one of those times you should have made the decision to go off air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also agree, he has too many things going on. Like, he has all these side shows, and he's paying all these people, and they don't get many views. Like, he's the star of that.
Yeah.
And I'm not his biggest fan, but he's the star, and he has all these other people doing these little shows that nobody watches. And I think it's
right.
And I get what he's trying to do. I think it's a nice thing to do for your friends and stuff, but business is business. So I think you should lock in on one thing rather than a million,
I agree. I think less is more in these situations, because the airspace is so competitive. And if he's working 16-hour days and he's making $600,000 a year, you have to ask yourself the question of that's good money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great money. And that's worth 16 hours a day. As an executive, I'd work 12, 14 hours a day. I was making $275,000 a year. And it's good money.
Yeah.
And the question is, what are you doing with it? And if you think that it's all about, some of his takes are the issue. And I think he is a little bit of that old world that refuses to kind of embrace this new, younger movement and where they're going. And he seems to kind of be stuck in his ways. Now, I'm that way because I'm 51 years old. Dan's in his way and Leeroy's in his way. But Tim's young enough to be able to adapt and change a little bit with the audience. I haven't seen, he's not doing that. He's not doing that at all.
Yeah.
So.
And I agree. Like, as a young person, like, Tim's like, it's like he's on, like, he can almost relate to young people, but there is something holding him back. I don't know what it is, but I like him. I wish him the best, but I got to go. Thanks for taking my call.
Appreciate you, Jake. Thanks, Bubba.
Cheers.
Talk to you soon. Good call. Appreciate it. All right. Well, listen, we spent a lot of time on it, and then the Lord giveth or the Lord giveth and the dumb show taketh away. Well, the dumb show giveth, because he had a really good rant that Nick Fuentes just absolutely loved. And if Nick Fuentes and Tim Pool can agree, holy shit. Like, I'm looking for like locusts to rain out of the sky and a blood moon because
frogs,
boiling frogs. For Tim Pool and Nick Fuentes to agree on anything is a little.
Dogs and cats living together.
Yeah, they're mass hysteria. Here's this. You'll love this, Dan, and then we can talk a little bit about this real quick. Here it is.
Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything
down. Oh my God, he called her what I called her. I called her
like
the
4 times. Like he doesn't stop. It's like on and on and on.
Oh, dude, I said it 4 times the other night. I had to come back and apologize because I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. But she made me melt down. I just got like, she's cooking people's brains, dude. I don't use the C word. 4 times I dropped it. I'm like, she's a
God.
Here it is.
And she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit.
Oh, come on.
She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it.
I've been doing it for 3 fucking years, dude. I mean, seriously.
Tune in.
Cool your beanie.
They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's.
I could use the boost. Like, I really hope that Candace Owens cooks me because I would love the boost. I mean, you're talking a couple 100,000 views at least.
Dude, we were just talking. My wife and I were just talking about that because I did a big segment on her today, and I took a completely different angle than most people. In her, it was a love. I mean, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and so I talked about more, her infatuation with Charlie and Turning Point and jealousy of she thought she should be in Erica Kirk's shoes. I think she thought that she was going to be the queen of TP USA, and along with Charlie Kirk, and then all of a sudden she was out, and then she pops out 4 kids, which is ironically the number of kids that Charlie wanted to have. There's just,
dude, she got married in what, 27 days?
Yeah.
What 17 days was it that they met and then he proposed? And I'm like,
then they were engaged in that amount of time. Yes. And then they got married like 7 months later, but yes, they met.
That's a little fast.
They became engaged. Yeah.
That jungle fever, it catches you.
I was going to say that Choco Taco must have been amazeballs.
I'm just saying. I mean, it must be because
it's kind of a Michael Jackson taco, but all right.
I don't kid. I think honestly, I think Candace has a penis. I think Candace is a man.
No.
Listen,
Well,
I don't listen to me. I just have a feeling. Okay?
Did Egypt tell you that, or was it the Israelis?
I can't prove it. I'm just asking questions, Dan, and I think that she's got a dick. Joanne Townsend donated $10. Thank you, Matt and Leeroy. Welcome, Dan. Listen, I'm just asking questions. Why do you hate me because I'm asking questions, Dan?
My sources, say, and I trust them, that, this is, Tim Pool is just he might be a woman. I don't know.
Tim Pool, there's a love affair between Tim Pool and Candace Owens. This is what it is. It's a lover's quarrel.
Yes.
She sexually transitioned and he sexually This is great. This is a great story. This is wonderful. Here's the rest of the show. My God.
Assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah,
I'm fucking done with these people.
He has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give 2 fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one.
I'd be like, bro, why are you yelling at me? Like, what did I do?
Dude.
I'm just wearing glasses and a Baltimore. I know the Baltimore Ravens aren't going to win the Super Bowl, but dude, it's just a hat. You don't need to get mad.
And she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy. And it is for the purpose of making money And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie, she loved Charlie, and she is burning everything down that he built.
This I completely agree with. Like this is
That's
all
true. Yeah.
this is all based. This is based.
That second part.
Well,
is
she's
real
acting like
on
a
point.
woman scorned. I mean,
Yes.
women could be fucking brutal. I mean, you think about a woman in a breakup or a divorce, if they want to destroy and go scorched earth on a man, they will, and they'll destroy everything that he owns and everything that he is. And I'm telling you, man, Candace Owens was in love with Charlie Kirk.
Yes, I agree.
That was her spot, and she was pissed. And now she's destroying it all because she's a woman scorned.
Yep,
Anyway.
I agree, 120%. No, no joke. 100. I saw the old 2017 and 18 videos, and they looked at each other like Charlie looked at her like a little sister. She looked at him like he was the great white shadow. And she loved him, man. There's no doubt. And I feel for her, but she was already crazy after the postpartum. This just was what flipped her over the edge. Like this was one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and 2 times, that's it, you're done. She's cooked. And she's not coming back from this. You don't come back from this. She's Britney Spears, man. She's going to be swinging knives and dancing in bikinis in the next 10 years.
Because she is evil. She is evil.
I hope so.
And I'll say it again, this
that's
conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending in the other direction
That's not
until
true.
Charlie Kirk was murdered.
It's not true.
And this is the point,
not
isn't
true.
it? The most effective political assassination in history, and thanks to the likes of the vile cunt Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid by any of these people. I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA.
Well, your $7,000 check is in the mail, Tim. Sorry. Like, I want some of this Jewish money. Can somebody hook me up? What do I? How do I get these $7,000 a post checks? People are accusing Tim Pool of this. This is ridiculous. This has been going on now for 2 years. There's a division that is in the conservative movement from podcasters. This is like a high school equivalency. This doesn't affect Republicans in this way. What happens with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump doesn't affect voters. We're more than likely going to lose the House and the Senate because that's what happens. Only 4 times in U.S. history has the incumbent kept it. So it's the cards are up against us anyway. I still think there's momentum, and I think that when 2016 hits, the big beautiful bill is going to help us get where we want to be.
Oh,
and
next year, yes,
and then that's going to change the election. But Dan, let's put a bow on this. Take a minute, tell me what you think. Tim Pool, Candace Owens, drama for your mama, whatever.
They're kind of similar. It's interesting when you look at what they're both doing right now, going the directions they are, and it is very dramatic. It's a me thing. Tim Pool's talking about me, my security, my cost, my this, my that. And, dude, I'm sorry about your personal issues. I'm sorry you don't know how to manage your business. Maybe you should try to do it a little bit better. Maybe take some tips from, I don't know, maybe Elon Musk. He might give you some tips on how to cut some of the bullshit out of your business. If you can't afford to operate, if you can't afford to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from your clips and your videos and everything, don't whine to me, man. I'm sitting here scraping. I'm working 16 hours a day, and I'm not making a fucking penny off this show yet. I want to, maybe one day, but it's like you just come off as a whiny little bitch. As far as Candace Owens goes, she is fucking cooked, dude, man. Her mind, and I think George Farmer. Now, here's what I brought up on my show today. So Candace Owens loved Charlie Kirk. She thought she was the heir apparent. I think she had a happily ever after in her mind on that. And then Charlie hooks, love at first sight with Erica. All of a sudden, 3 months later, Candace is now engaged with this farmer dude. She pops out 4 kids, which is the number of kids that Charlie wanted. They probably talked about that. And Farmer is back there. He knew that Candace didn't really love her. She always loved Charlie. He's basically been cucked for all these years. And then now he's pushing her. She's starting to attack Turning Point, attack Erica. He's like, yeah, let's do this, because he's her producer and her marketing arm. He does all of that. And so of course he's going to promote her trashing the organization and the person that he's been cucked with for the last 5 years.
Well, don't forget, anytime, any place, anywhere, we can do it tomorrow if you want to. Okay, we're going to do it December the 14th. Oh, no, that doesn't work for me.
No. And my husband told me we can't actually.
Oh,
because
that was like Stepford Wives type stuff. Like I was like, oh my God, she has to. Oh my God, she has to ask permission of her husband to go do anything.
Right?
Like that relationship.
Holy crap! What a seriously? Weak excuse, and not only from Candace, but also from Tim. And the one thing that I will say that separates this show, and I'm sure Dan's show as well, separates us in a lot of ways from some of the rest of the pack. At least for me, I will never play a victim role. I won't do it.
No,
I refuse to say, oh my God, we're so far in the hole, or I don't know how we can. I don't buy into any of that crap, and I also try not to get too far into the weeds with a lot of this drama horseshit. I didn't even know about the Tim Pool thing, but that was a pretty epic rant.
Yeah, well, I agree with him. I agree with him for a lot of it, and he gets to vent. He gets to vent. Sure. I vent before. I mean, I go off. Dan goes off. We all go off sometimes. By the way, I agree with you. Begging and telling people, think times are hard. I can't stand it. Folks, thedumbshow.com/donate. We've only made $10 tonight. We're really hurting. I don't know what the hell's wrong, but if we don't make money, we're going to have to go off the air. So before Christmas break, unless you can start donating, you guys are fucking with our show. And we're going to, wait a second. Never mind. We just got the bill. We have to.
Adjusting trends.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
This
I don't know what to tell you.
Don't Unfriend Me show.
I'm totally kidding, but I'm not. Tim Walz had an epic. Don't you guys remember this, Democrats, and what they did? Don't you remember when they went after Tesla, firebombed Teslas? The guy blew up his Tesla in front of one of Trump's hotels. Right. There was the kill Tesla. He's a Nazi, and this whole world effort to destroy Elon Musk. Here's a clip, and I'm going to show you the stock price today because I happen to listen. I want to be fair.
I happen to own.
Me too. I'm a stockholder, so I'm
a long term. Yeah,
I'm a bull. I understand. I have to disclose, so I just want to be clear. But my dividends look really, really good. Here we go. Listen to this, Tim Walz.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone. They've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, and take out. Just telling you.
What a retard. In the words of Donald Trump, here is what I was going to show you. Who's the guy in the middle? This is Dan Nunn. This is a wonderful time to tell you. This is Dan Nunn from the Nunn Report. You can find him on Rumble. Where else? Tell them all about yourself, Dan, whatever the fuck your name is.
You want to tell me all about I got to talk about myself?
Yes.
Man, I hate doing that. But hey, the Nunn Report is on weekdays at 4 Eastern time, exclusively right here on Rumble, the free speech alternative to ScrewTube. You can do two things that are free. One, like this video for the Dunn Report because it's freaking awesome. And then you see me in the chat. You see my moderators in the chat. Jump over to my channel, give it a follow, support a fellow patriot who's just trying to get stuff out there, get the truth out there. We also have a little bit of fun with it too.
Sounds good, Bubba. Appreciate you. Dan comes on the show occasionally. We don't have to fly him out and buy him a rental car, and then he doesn't get shot at, which is all good.
We should do this every month. It's fun.
Minimal security, folks.
Dan, it's always I try to tell all the guests. Finally, Barry Morgenstein just says, I'm coming on, or Damani says, I'm coming on. You're there. So anytime, well, that is if you can actually do an intro video and do it. $334.07 Tesla Inc. Holy recovery. Look at that dip. Which is incredible because they're right. It got down to 225. That was only for like 7 days. But now you look at them, they're fully recovered. Closing at 318, 334. They're up 4.93 on the year, 1569 for the single day close. This This shows you that Democrats can't do anything right. Now, when we canceled Target completely changed their business model. When we canceled Cracker Barrel stopped, redid their stores the old way, removed the new logo, and got rid of it. When we canceled Bud Light, what did they do? Because we don't cancel, we just stop buying.
Yeah. And it works.
That's it. It just works. We just stop buying. And look at Netflix. Netflix is going to have to change too. Why do you think they're going after Harry Potter? Why do you think they're going after the younger generation? Why do you think they're going after Batman and Warner Brothers? It's to become relevant. What do you guys think about this? You guys remember this? I mean, did this have any effect on Elon Musk? I mean, he's out and now he's right back where he was, which just shows you his staying power is incredible.
Yeah, you're not going to stop Elon Musk. I'm long on Tesla. There's so much more than cars. There's robotics. There's AI. There's a lot of stuff under that. Elon Musk says that his stock should be valued at $3,000 a share, and within the next few years. I believe him, and I think it will be. This is try to cancel him. Yeah, he got a little deep in politics. I can understand why the radical left freaked out. They started burning down things, they started doing stuff. And to be honest, I think that Elon did make a course correction. I think he saw what was happening and he kind of backed off from the politics. He re-engaged with his businesses. I wish he would make it so that large and small platforms could actually get new followers again.
Seriously, dude, are you kidding me?
Everything is just flatlined, right?
Can't do anything on X. Like we have a ton of people who watch. We have a ton of people who watch, but we can't grow.
The growth is like, it's like almost like a switch got cut off. No more followers for you. But back to the topic is that, yeah, Tesla and Elon, they're uncancelable. He's the richest man in the world. That's not going to change.
Right.
He's probably going to be the first trillionaire ever. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to bash somebody for their success, which is the difference. The left, oh, you're successful, you're innovative, you're making too much money. Fuck off.
Fair enough.
Well, there's Walter Williams was one of the great economists that I used to follow, and what he used to describe as wealth is a level of social credits that somebody gets when everyone wants their product. Elon is an interesting case. I really wonder how much of his own, like that 220 dip that Tim Walz was, absolutely loving on, how much of that was from when Elon was in charge of Doge. And I think that little foray into government, into Doge, he was already a little bit of an albatross on that front. And there is enough people who disliked him that when he kind of headed Doge, they just absolutely fangs all in. They wanted him sunk. Tim Walz was kind of evident on that. But the moment he backed out of it, the moment he left, and kind of, you haven't really heard a whole lot out of him for a little while now. And so what has the stock done? Boom. I think you both are absolutely right. He's been able to re-engage with his businesses. He's not so much into the political front anymore. He's not out there criticizing one way or the other. I'm sure he does, but it's not to the same extent. And as a reflection, I think those stocks show it.
CJ Jenkins donated $10.80. Hi, guys. Hey, CJ, thanks for getting us started. A little slow tonight, folks. That's okay. We anticipated it. I turned up Leeroy's mic. He's good now. He should be coming in 5x5. Okay. So can we just walk through something real quick? Have you guys seen this before? Talking about Elon Musk and what he's done and created. The Zip 2 was his first company, sold to Compaq in 1999, chip processors and chipsets, right? Then X.com, online banking startup, learned how to merge, became PayPal, payment processing and communication for global communications and monetary standards. PayPal, largest shareholder CEO of X.com, founded by Musk in 2002. He was a chief engineer, obviously, of SpaceX. So how do you get everything he has done is about Mars. And I want you to think about this from processing, computer processors and equipment, Telecommunications, cross-country telecommunications and merger and acquisitions. SpaceX created the rockets, created the space travel, created that program. Tesla, batteries, lithium ions, things you're going to need on Mars, replenishable energy. And then Solar City takes over Solar City and renewable energy source on Mars. Now he's doing open AI. You got to look at open AI and the ability of quantum mechanics and the ability for artificial intelligence is the future. I mean, the things that he is interested in my opinion, and others that I've read this about, is all about his want and need to go to Mars. It's like, it seems like everything he does is surrounded around this endeavor, or it's just a lot of I don't know, just coincidences. But what do you guys think? I mean, you think that this is what he's trying to do, is build these companies up so he has the capability to go to Mars, sustain life like he wants to, and this is his number one goal and dream, or is it something smaller? Dan.
That's a loaded question. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the guy has been very successful. He's very innovative. He's come up with these things. Is it all related to Mars? Absolutely. Everything could be used toward that end goal. Is that what he purposely has in mind? You know, I don't know. I think the guy is he's an explorer within our own world. He's exploring the limits. He's exploring, can we get to Mars in my lifetime? Different things that are so far outside the box, most people can't comprehend them. And that's what makes him the richest man in the world. It's because he's willing to take those risks and willing to do that. Yeah, he has some steps up. You mentioned his early endeavors. And of course, PayPal was one of the big ones that really launched his wealth. But, I think the guy is, he is an anomaly, man. He is an interesting fellow. I love listening to him talk when he does his TEDs and different things where he's like really just talking about stuff. And he goes, you can just see his mind is working faster than he can communicate.
Yeah.
And it's, as far as Mars, man, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you. Well, let me give you more. Let me give you more. All right. So I don't
want to go to Mars. Do you want to go to Mars?
No, I don't care about that.
Yes.
Well,
I don't personally.
I don't want to go to Mars. Well, hold on. Let me make another connection here. I mean, I didn't give you enough. Well, now robots. If you're going to go ahead and terraform a planet, you can't put humans on there currently and sustain life in Mars. Now there's water, which means you can create fuel. But the point is this endeavor into robots, and then Neuralink. So you're not going to be able to have humans float around Mars for indefinitely, but if you can create some sort of neural connection where you can control with AI, with a Neuralink, control robot, it just seems everything's connected. When I'm looking at his resume, I'm watching him build this and put this together, and it's very much Interstellar-like, where this giant master plan is taking place, and all the things that he's buying up are going to make him terraforming Mars possible. Leeroy, your thoughts? I mean, does that help, or did that just go, Matt's crazy and there's no way they're all connected?
No, 1,000% they already are. I read his book. He made it very clear that he wants to, as a goal, get to Mars before, while he's still alive. One of the things that was not mentioned is he bought a TBM machine company, a tunnel boring machine company.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes. Right. Subterranean travel.
Correct.
Sorry, that's the other one.
When you consider the TPM thing, when you consider batteries, when you consider all of those technologies can be very minorly tweaked in order to make life on Mars just a little bit easier. You throw a TBM on Mars, dig out, several miles worth of material, cap it on both ends. You have an atmosphere. You throw electricity down there and some environmental conditions. Boom, we're off to the races. So yeah, 1,000%. I agree with you. I think that I
forgot about the TPM thing, because that subterranean travel and then obviously subterranean living is going to be necessary. I just think that when you look at Benjamin Franklin and you look at his inventions, you look at Da Vinci,
right?
There was a method to their madness and what they ultimately want. Da Vinci ultimately wanted to create a flying machine. The Montgolfier brothers were the same way, and everything and all their inventions were all surrounded about that. Frank Wood donated $25. Nikolai Tesla thank you, Frank, was also Nikola Tesla was his focus was on independent energy, free energy, and how to transfer energy from one point to another without physical conductivity. So when you look at inventors and you look at these, they all build things and create things ultimately to their end goal and vision, like a painter does with the colors that he chooses and the palette he chooses. So I just think it's a very interesting case study that someone could write a really good book on, is like, Get Your Ass to Mars by Elon Musk, something like that, an autobiography. But anyway, just a topic.
Happen.
Well, it would. Mount Nittany Middle School officially admits an email that white students are not allowed to join the race-based Black affinity group. Now, this is interesting to me. This email says, I was curious what ethnicities this included. Are Caucasians allowed to listen and learn for more of a safe space? Thanks so much for your time. Hi, this is a safe space for our Black student community at Mount Nittany. Now,
hard stop right there.
Right. There's no even, I'm sorry. There's just like, listen, cracker, you ain't getting in.
This is for Black people.
Not brown people, not yellow, only the blacks.
Oh, only blacks. So here's the question. I remember at Comcast, they had a fast track to vice president, and I was on the fast track to vice president, and I was a director of retail marketing and sales, and it was like a $2 billion P&L. I mean, this is a huge company. And I was fast tracking for VP, and I was ready to go into like the VP tutelage class, which basically meant within a year to 2 years after going through this, you're gonna get the knock to be a VP, and you'll move to wherever they want in the country, and that's it. And one of the things they said is that you need to participate in more Comcast-based programs. And I'm like, okay. Well, my demographic, 89% of my employees were Black. It's Houston, Texas, and it's Comcast, right? And wonderful. It's great. That's like, I'm all down. In fact, my first day there, and as I'm meeting, 3,000 employees, and they're all staring up at me as we started talking about rap music. And one of them stood up and says, "You don't like rap music." And I'm like, excuse me. It really depends on what you're talking about. Are we talking about quintessential OG rap? Are we talking about Fab Five Freddy? Are we talking about KRS-One? Are we talking about, what are we talking about? Are you talking about NWA? Are you talking about Kool Moe Dee? Are we talking about, and they're just sitting like, oh my God, he does like rap. And I'm like, don't even get me started with Grandmaster Flash. But the point is, there was a class in Philadelphia, and it was called the Black Leaders of Comcast. And I said, I want to go.
Why not?
And I said, because I believe that it's going to help me understand what the prerequisites are for all my employees who I want to move up so they can be a part of it. And I would like to go, and I'd like to audit it. And they said, you can't go. And I said, why? Is it money? Is it time? They say, you're not Black.
I think it's obvious, Matt.
No, bullshit. I wasn't going to take that. I wanted them to say it. And I'm like,
"Whoa, you're not Black?"
Well, from the waist down, I am. But we can't see that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I don't have a wide angle lens, bro. But if you want me to,
I'm looking at you.
Just wait 1 second while I whip this out.
I would have let you in, man. You look Black to me. It's all good.
Hey,
but seriously,
where the white women at?
So here's the question: Is that? I mean, am I wrong? Is that not racism? Is that not discrimination? Why can you?
Right.
If we did, I'm sorry. You're not the right color. You're Black. You can't come to this group. Everyone would be fired. Why? Help me understand. Am I naive? Is this just the way the world is? Come on, Dan.
Flip the script and hey man, we're having a group and only white people can come because we're better. This is for the white people only, and you brown people, you Black people, just no, you can't do that. I mean, that's how absurd it is. It's and of course it's racist. I mean, there's no doubt about it that it's racist. Vivek Ramaswamy, part of his pitch was always, reverse racism is racism. And he talked about it every single pitch he gave. I'm a big supporter. I still love him. He's going to be a great governor of Ohio. Just to answer your question short, of course it's racist. And if you flip the script, it's absolutely absurd. there needs to be more people calling this out when it comes to surface. So.
Let me ask a follow-up for Leeroy too. Should it be that these, and of course, everything that I just did was all political theater, right? I mean, I know the answer, and it was rhetorical. But I do want an answer because I think it sets up the next question. So should it be that all groups based upon color, race, creed, sexual disposition, theological disposition should be outlawed and banned? Or should we just simply make one minor inclusion of white groups too? Should we have the White Leaders of America group? Because, and what's hilarious is like, that right there is the problem, is it not? It's not that these groups should be dissolved. It's you don't get a white group. And you can't have a white group. Because somehow that trivializes the black group and the woman group and the Jew group and the Arab group and the Christian group. Leeroy, your thoughts on that? Is it true? Is it that you just can't have a white group?
Well, not only do I think that that's true, that you can't have a white group exclusively, but if we think back to 1955, the Montgomery Bus Boy Scout of Rosa Parks, the Supreme Court had ruled on that in Browder versus Gale. Okay. And they said that you can't segregate based off of color. Now, what I think is interesting, Matt, is had you gone to said conference uninvited, and then prior to everyone entering or exiting the room, prior to the actual event itself, to get yourself a whites only sign and hang it on the fountain that's happening at the event and see what happens.
Oh, I'll tell you what I did. That's after. I did something else. I didn't do that.
Did you blackface? You did blackface and went in, didn't you?
Nope, didn't do blackface. But go ahead, Leeroy.
It really wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter if it said whites only or blacks only, whatever the case is. If you put just a Xerox copy of something that said blacks only at this water fountain or at this restroom, and see how many people got offended, then that might start getting some wheels turning.
Well, then I get fired. But what I did do is that when the head of HR was the VP of HR, she told me, she's like, Matt, you can't go. And I said, that's unacceptable to me. I think that's crap. You got to give me a better reason because I'm white, because I run an 89% black group. Don't you think it would probably be okay? Why is it okay for a white guy to lead an 89% group, but it's not okay for that white guy to go learn more about Black Leaders of America? And so she goes, you're not black. And I said, you know what? We'll talk about this tomorrow. Well, that's what I did. I went up and I brought my heritage, and I have African-American blood. Now it might be Elizabeth Warren, 1 out of 1,024, but it's still, I have more black in me than Elizabeth Warren has Indian. And that's the truth. And so I went to my
Leeroy.
I went to my head. Listen, I didn't survive.
Well, it's because I have black in me.
But he does too.
30%,
yes,
by the way.
I got that too. How does that feel?
It feels
great.
Ask my wife. So I showed this, and I listen. I will have Caroline on if she'll come on, and she can tell this story. But I walked in and I said, I'm African American, and she goes, Matt, I know you're messing with me, and I know you're joking, but if we send you to Philadelphia to the Black Leaders of America conference, you won't come home.
Why?
Because she's
That's
like
an assumption.
No, she would. She's like, people, you would walk in there and it would be so palpable how uncomfortable it would be. And I'm just like,
put on a do-rag. You'll flip.
I said, Caroline, this is the most racist shit in the world. And I hope you realize how stupid this is. And I said, this just shows you that HR is completely a joke. You guys are all a joke. You don't care about racism. You don't care about segregation. You care about protecting the company from stupid shit. And this is stupid shit. But I promise you, if I went to the Supreme Court with that, I would win. Because that's the difference, is when you look at how companies like Comcast and Apple and others have skewed the rules and change it to these woke ideologies, I think we're getting to a place in history where this isn't going to be acceptable anymore. I think when you call someone a racist, they laugh at you now. There used to be where they go, shh, don't say that. Don't say that. Right. It doesn't mean anything. You call me a Nazi and I'm like, fuck you. I just don't care. And cancel me. Please try. What are you going to do? So I don't know, man. I think times are changing a little bit. I could be wrong.
Yeah. There's this really amazing quote, and I'm going to find it real quick by color.
You can't do that.
No.
So you're supposed to find it first. Now we just all sit here.
I know. I was typing.
Dan,
Our world is not
do you
divided by
think
race, religion.
DEI and woke ideology is dead, or do you think it's just laying dormant until Democrats take over again? Someday?
Oh, if they take power, dude, it's over. They're gonna fucking take over everything. The DEI is gonna explode. They're gonna impeach Trump like 2,000 times. They're gonna completely obliterate everything that he has done. Look, if they ever get back in power, I can't stress it enough. And I sound like a broken record, I know. But the midterms, man, this is a presidential election. If you treat it like anything, Republicans suck at getting out.
Yes.
And we need to change that. That needs to change, man. Has Scott Pressler up here in Washington State.
I saw that. That was great.
3 or 4 weeks ago.
I saw it. It was great.
And he came out to Washington, Oregon, California, doing a little tour out here to try to get people involved in the process when it's not a presidential election. Because I don't know how we change that. I hope it changes, because if it doesn't change, Matt, you're right. At the top of the show, we will be looking at a House and a Senate that's controlled by Democrats, and Trump's term is over.
No, Trump's going to prison. Trump's going to prison.
I mean, at least
it's not over.
He might
he's going to prison.
Yeah.
If they get the House and the Senate, I guarantee you there are at least 10 Republicans in the Senate that will flip on Trump in a New York minute, because it's politically advantageous, and vote for conviction, and he will get convicted and impeached. There's just no doubt in my mind. And like, this should be what he's saying. Listen, I'm not asking, I don't need you to save me, but we need to protect our majority so I can continue to do my work. I need all of you. He's got to say this. He's got to say this during his rally. I didn't hear his rally tonight, but I hope that's the message also.
So Matt, what's your thoughts on the filibuster? Because I know if the Democrats take the Senate, the first thing they will do, the very first thing they do, the first vote they'll take, the first rule change they'll make is to get rid of the filibuster.
Yep.
And Republicans, we go back to where we were talking about earlier, they just can't. It's like they won't play dirty.
Nuke it.
I agree.
Nuke it. Okay. Pass the Vote Act. Go ahead and redistrict every single House line, because without the House, they don't have subpoena power. If they don't have subpoena power, they can't impeach him. Make sure the House is redrawn. You can control that. You can't control the Senate. That's just the way it is. But you can redraw the district lines, and we win. We will have the Senate, our state majority, and Democrats will take 25 to 30 years ever to win the House again if we redistrict it right now.
And pass every single thing that's in the big, beautiful bill and in Trump's program, and get it through now. Get it codified. So all those EOs, just start marching them through on majority only. I don't understand why we're not doing that.
Because Republicans have balls, roughly. They're like this, dude, and they're not steel.
Is that why they cross their legs? I don't know.
They're soft.
Like Gavin Newsom.
They're soft serve ice cream, buddy. Go ahead, Leeroy.
Between the redistricting and the bigger piece to this is between the census data that is going to be coming out. I don't see that the Democrats, I see them having a diminishing chance. It is still probable that they will take it, but it's diminishing quickly. And real quick, I did want to bring up this quote because
Republicans are diminishing or Democrats are diminishing?
No, the chances of a Democrat win in the midterms is diminishing.
Not compared to the poly market, but who gives a shit about poly market? You're right. I agree with you 120%. Every day we continue to see stock market surging. We got to talk about this. Hold on. Every time we see the stock market surging, every time we see gas prices, every time we see a drop in any food or commodity, we have got to call this shit out. Donald Trump has a lot of success in this. Not as much as 2016, but let's face it, he had a hell of a lot more to fix after Joe Biden got done. Go ahead, Leeroy. Give us your quote, and then I got to run a commercial because we've only made $45 tonight. We got to get donations.
So the most amazing quote that I had ever heard, and it was spot on perfect. Our world
from my show.
No. Our world is not divided by race, color, gender, or religion. Our world is divided into wise people and fools divide themselves by race, color, gender, and religion. That was by Muhammad Safa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Circular.
It's interesting. I have Mohammed as a topic tonight. I always love it how somehow everything just kind of amalgamates into a cohesion of good quality content that just steps through the show. Mohammed,
That's what good
we'll talk about
quality
that.
people do. You know, it's kind of.
It's just. We have Neuralink.
We have fun though too.
No, I don't know about that. Not too much fun. Here's the thing, folks.
Is that whiskey?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he's drinking whiskey. Leroy's always drinking.
Very nice.
So here's the deal, folks. $45, that makes up what happened last night when we had to leave early. We are basically at zero. We're going to need some help. That means I got to do the commercial, 3 minutes. I'm sorry to do it, but unfortunately, folks, we need some help. I know a lot of you don't donate when we have guests on. Dan is a regular now, so you can donate. We don't care if he feels bad. We don't give a shit. So donate away. Remember, we might have to cancel the show around Christmas time, right around the 24th and 25th for 2 days if we don't make goal.
This could be the last show. You never know.
We're gonna.
You never know.
Our cancellation with Tim Pools. Yeah.
What did you guys hear that? Someone just shot at my place. We really need the money now.
For more security.
We need more security.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations, but after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Blood of your firstborn is not acceptable. Please stop asking.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at thedumbshow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so freaking I can't do it. I can't untighten
That's
it.
what she said.
That's what she's. Oof. Oof. Coming in with it. Pound it. Pound it. Pound.
Child
For you.
that's 15.
Ethan, you need it. You look like a hippie.
Totally tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate. Don't start with me. Donations. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan. Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's no but there. Why do you've been doing this since you were 2 years old. Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than you at everything.
It's better than
Hayden, he's just like, even, it's just, go ahead, Hayden.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But I'm going to owe them money without.
Hayden, do your thing again.
Oh yeah, cut it.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
Yes, thank you for your support. We do appreciate it. It's amazing sitting at 150 viewers and then all of a sudden Facebook goes, nope, that's too many. And it's ridiculous. I don't understand it. I can't stand them. But it's nice to have our Rumble folks on. Folks, you don't have to donate. We do appreciate if you do. thedumbshow.com/donate. And we will hit goal. But once again, usually when we have guests on, people wait in the first hour. I'm going to beg you not to wait anymore. Dr. Oz reveals Democrats under Joe Biden signed hundreds of thousands of people up for $0 health care plans. Many didn't even know that they were signed up. Big Pharma cashed in because they got paid for every one of these plans, laundering billions to Big Pharma. Dr. Oz, not a big fan, but I at least like what he's doing here. And let's listen to what he has to say, and then we'll have it open for comment.
The Government Accountability Office just released a shocking interim report on widespread fraud within Obamacare. Let me explain what's going on. During the pandemic, the previous administration took a variety of actions that weakened crucial safeguards. For example, they eliminated common sense income verifications, which are central to making sure people actually qualify for the program. They also expanded the number of people who got completely free health insurance via what are called $0.
Olivia just let me know Brenda Shepard donated to the show, and I want to say thank you, Brenda, but it was during the commercial for $5.25. I want to say thank you so much for that. We appreciate it, Brenda. And she says, come on, guys, let's help out. Let's hit goal. So there you are.
Plans, which is a huge problem because if you don't pay anything for a plan, you might forget that you have it, or you may be enrolled in it by an unscrupulous insurance broker without your knowledge. To date, we've received complaints from hundreds of thousands of Americans who didn't know they were enrolled in an Obamacare plan until they got paperwork from the IRS related to their tax credits. So why was this allowed to happen? Because the past administration prioritized achieving big program enrollment numbers over protecting program integrity. The problem here is that you, the American taxpayer, are footing the bill for all of this fraud in the form of tax subsidies. Under President Trump and Secretary Kennedy, we are not sitting idly by. We've uncovered 4.4 million improper enrollments, including roughly 1.6 million individuals who were enrolled in both Medicaid and an Obamacare plan in 2024, which taxpayers, by the way, are footing the bill in both of these cases. You get double insurance. You're not paying for either. We've already started cleaning up the system by removing about 1 million people from Obamacare who are or should be covered somewhere else. This alone is going to save taxpayers billions in waste. In fact, the very first rule we announced in this administration was our marketplace integrity and affordability rule, which would have, and I'm listing it out, enforced common sense income verification checks, made sure people who were enrolled knew they were enrolled, and blocked illegal immigrants from accessing taxpayer-funded care. But here's the bonus of it all. Our rule would have lowered premiums across the board for Americans by an average of 5%. It's a lot of money. Now, we're on track, doing fine, until blue cities brought a politically motivated lawsuit against us.
All right. Boston Boston Harbor.
5%. 5% isn't that ain't shit. Whatever.
3 cents is what the final straw was, minus the confiscation of guns, lands, unfair taxes, raping of the cattle, and stampeding the women, and all that other stuff with England. But 3 cents is what the tax increase was on the tea in the Boston Harbor, and that was enough to start a revolution. What in the hell are we waiting for? If any of these things happened 50 years ago, but nobody cares. Like, just the amount of money, the sheer theft in Minnesota, now this, SNAP, EBT, COVID relief funds. Is this hopeless? Are we ever going to see any justice? Are any of these people going to be out in handcuffs, or is this just, it's not going to happen? This is a pipe dream. Dan.
I mean, I hope that's what happens. I think that, and Trump called out, he Pam Bondi just yesterday and said, hey, man, look at all this stuff that's going on. And I have proof and there's evidence. Why are these people not being held accountable? The healthcare thing, the Obamacare, God, I just, Dr. Oz, I kind of with you, man. I'm like, I'm not a big fan. I was kind of, when Trump brought him on board, I was kind of like, I was really lukewarm on it. Right. Didn't really like it, actually. But he does make sense in this case. But with Obamacare, I'm tired of the fucking half measures. You can't fix it. This thing is unfixable. It needs to go completely. It needs to go out, and it doesn't matter. And Republicans are trying to, fix it. Democrats, they say they'll fix it if they get back in power. The whole thing needs to fucking go away. Trump wants to give the money to the people. I agree with it. Buy our own insurance, open up the insurance across state lines, put the competitive market in place and get it done. And I just got to real quick here, while I still got the mic and we'll pass off. Trump in his rally today, the National Guardsman, Andrew Wolf, update on his condition. Trump says, today I got the call that he got up from bed.
Oh, that's
It's amazing.
great. That's awesome. He just did that on his.
My wife, she brings me these notes, and I have a little thing I stick them on. But yeah.
Here's the video just to give you a quick update. Let's move to that because that's good stuff. Listen, we all know the answer to this question, and Leeroy, I want to give you that chance to do that, but that's breaking news. That's important. Let's get to it real quick, and then we'll do Leeroy's quote. By the way, folks, dumbshow.com, we're at the 30-minute mark for donations. Without you, we might have to sell our show to the Tim Pool podcast. So please
sell your children.
And Tim Pool, the tax man, is going to come and knock on our door and take all of our stuff. So help us out. Here we go. Here's Donald Trump talking about the update on the National Guardsman. Andrew, what was his name? Was it Andrew?
Wolf.
Something? Andrew Wolf. That's
Andrew
correct.
Wolf.
Yep, here it is.
In D.C., we had a tragic incident, as you the two incredible people. What a terrible thing that was just 2 weeks ago, right? Just a terrible National Guard, terrible thing. Sarah and Andrew. Sarah passed away. She's looking at us from heaven, from above, and she was killed almost instantly. They kept her alive. Her parents came from West Virginia, another great state. Parents are incredible. They couldn't believe it. She was 20 years old. Perfect. She was just getting a little promotion. They were so proud of her. She was on her way up. And she was Shatnick head, the brain, shutting the head. They were able to keep her alive long enough for her parents to come in from West Virginia and say goodbye to her. And Andrew is the second one, who's also from West Virginia National Guard, incredible people. And so they were both from West Virginia. And his mother's named Monica. And Monica's the most positive person I've ever seen. The night that he was so badly hit and the doctors gave him almost no chance, I called their hospital room and spoke to her. And she said, sir, he'll be fine. Oh, no, I'm telling you, I'm praying. The whole country is praying. Sir, I'm telling you, don't worry about it. He's going to be fine. This is the mother talking to me. And the father's like devastated. He's an incredible guy too, both. And I went and invited them to the Oval Office, and they came in. She said, sir, he's fine. It was amazing, actually. And today, Monica, she said, we're all praying, and I'm praying. And then she called to say, sir, he moved his finger today. This is like 3 days later. He moved his finger. And today I got a call that he got up from bed. Do you believe that? He got up. He got up. Now, he didn't speak. He's not ready for that yet. He got hit in the head. But he got up, and boy, they're so happy. It's amazing. And the care that they've given him at the hospital, and the generals that have been there, the military that's been there, it's amazing. General Seward and others that she said the level of love that your military has given to my boy. And by the way, Sarah's parents said the same thing, the love and the affection.
So we have laws that when you attack a certain religion, or sexuality or color is a hate crime. If you attack police, if you attack military, should it be considered a terrorist attack? Should it have additional penalties? Should it be an immediate capital punishment at the federal level? How do we deter this from happening? Because this is going to continue. You know this.
Well, that's what Trump has called for in all three of his campaigns was for the death penalty
that they're given.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The death penalty for those who go after law enforcement or military. He's called for the death penalty for that. I agree. I think we need stiffer penalties and consequences. That's how you stop this from happening. It's not. You don't have catch and release in the prisons. You don't have all this shit that the sanctuary states and all the blue states do. No, you need stricter penalties to discourage people from doing bad things. This just seems common sense. I don't understand how this is even it shouldn't even be a fucking conversation. It should be, oh yeah, obviously, you know, stiffer penalties is going to discourage people from doing bad things. And yeah, death penalty. Absolutely.
Leeroy, you had a quote to go back on, but let's do this first and then we'll go back on that. Also, Tommy Cawthon just donated, and listen, it's a tight night, man. The numbers are down, and this is crazy because this is probably the lowest night we've seen in 3 years.
It's me, you know.
No, I don't think it's you at all. I don't think it's you at all. And I don't think that's true at all. But Tommy was basically like, "Hey guys, $15. I know it's tight, but if everyone pitches in, we can hit goal." Listen, whatever we can do, we appreciate it. We trust the dumb nation. Leeroy, your thoughts on this when it comes to? Hold on, Livia's putting in monies. When we see this, we got to stop. Melanie Marino donating $21.10. In and Out was making Cajun seafood gumbo. I'll share one day. In and Out was making Cajun seafood gumbo. In and Out hamburger? I'm confused.
What?
I don't know. Whatever. Explain that to me. Help me understand, because if that's the case, then I'm driving to the local In and Out. Leeroy, your thoughts on this when it comes to military? You're currently in the military. You served. I served. What are your thoughts?
So Dan hit it right on the head. We live in a country where we have the ultimate freedom. We have the freedom of speech. Now, that has been weaponized in a way against whole swaths of people by saying, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi. And what that does is it foments so much hate. And the consequence of that is people are getting hurt. We had Charlie Kirk's assassination. We had the attempted assassination on, well, one of them successful, on these 2 National Guard members. We're going to see more and more of this violence because the left doesn't know how to pull back. They don't know how to say, hey, folks, stop calling people fascist Nazis. And what that does is it raises an entire generation of people. For the last 20 years, people have been hearing this. So if you were born in the year 2000, then literally that's all you know if you're watching mainstream media. CNN, MSNBC, every news media outlet is out there saying fascist Nazi. And what that does is in some way, shape, or form, it gives them the idea and the justification to go kill evil people.
Right.
Now,
it excuses it.
Right. So in order to offset that, right, we have laws that say, hey, you can't murder people. If you do, unfortunately, we have our law system, our legal system has been corrupted enough to say, look, if you get convicted of rape, murder, blah, 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 you're going to do X number of years. Do I need to turn it up?
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone keeps saying they can't hear you, and I don't know.
Is that better?
Your EQ is perfect. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So in order to offset that, I think the problem is that, to your point, Dan, and to Matt's point, is in cases of murder, like, we should have an absolute death penalty. So this dude who just got done shooting at the National Guardsman, the guy who killed Charlie Kirk, no questions asked. If they get convicted, they go right to the front of the line with the needle. And I think that would at least pull back.
You would need to do federal charges then on every one of these cases.
Yeah.
So because the states, the 10th Amendment's going to stop that.
Sure, but if we have the ultimate freedom that gets abused, then to a degree, you understand, we have to have an ultimate consequence when you abuse it.
Right. But you're not hearing, if I could see one thing that would be pushed through, is that all federal crimes is that 30 days after being found guilty of a federal crime and the appellate process has gone through, you're put to death. Like, I am so sick
no more. 20 years on death row. I mean, these people live. It's
You're right.
You get convicted of some crime and the penalty is death. You're still going to live for another 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
And how much we incarcerate them, it's at our expense. I mean, fuck, put them up in town square with the gallows and get rid of them.
I'm all for it. Like, I am. I mean, I don't want Sharia law, but there is something to say why crime in Saudi Arabia is. Now, there's a whole other things that would classify as crime that are just considered okay in Sharia law, which is why a lot of their crime isn't reported. Those are moral issues and theological issues. I'm just talking about crime. We're talking about theft. We're talking about murder. We're talking about, physical assault, embezzlement. These things are met with a hammer of impunity. Curtis Lawhorn donated $40. I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas. Thank you for what you do, Curtis. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Curtis.
So I'm not saying we need to go the way, but there is a happy medium. Complete neglect and letting it take forever, or killing people literally in 24 hours with a trial and then sending their parents the money for the bullet. There's a middle ground there where I think we could become a little more expedient in our punishment, because I think criminals do not stop the actions of crime because the leniency has gotten so bad. And even if they do go to jail, they're going to be there, like you said, for 20, 25 years. Make this fast, make it quick. It is fair and speedy trial, but it should also be fair and speedy punishment.
Well, for some of these folks that have spent time in the system, I'm sorry, Leeroy, go ahead.
No, you're good. All I was going to say was that there was a really great quote out there by Thomas Sowell that says that there are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. And when we do have ultimate freedoms, then when you break said laws and you go off and murder people, then you should pay the ultimate sacrifice.
Agreed. 100%.
If you wanted to get rid of the death penalty, the only way to do that would be to minimize people's liberties. And that is not what this country is about. So if you really wanted to get rid of the death penalty, then you could absolutely make the case of restricted freedom, restricted gun rights, things like that. But that's not how this country works. So if we're going to have these things, if we're going to have these liberties and use them responsibly, the only way to live in that world is to accept that when I fuck up and when I go and murder someone, all right, guess what? My head's on the chopping block.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Dan, and then we'll wrap this up, move on to another interesting one.
You just brought up the point of expanding definitions, and Democrats are really good at this. So free speech, yes, I have free speech, but they've expanded it to killing people as an expression, killing a CEO on a New York sidewalk. It's certainly an expression of free speech. No, it's not. That's fucking murder. All right, that's not free speech. And this is what they do, though. And then over time it becomes normalized, and then the words don't mean anything. We mentioned it earlier, racism. What the fuck does that even mean? Nazi? Okay, fine, whatever. This is what they do, and it drives me nuts, because these words mean things, and our Constitution means things, and their perversion of it, the way they keep changing it. Drives me nuts.
It drives me nuts too. Lois and Debbie Boggs both donated. Debbie said, thank you, Dan Nunn. Your people. I missed it. Lois also donated as well. Both of them got it in. I mouthed. What do you mean by your people? I think she's saying that he's our people. I would agree with that too. So thank you both for your donations. We're at $166.51. Once again, the dummies always come through. We're $140 away. Would love to overdrive that, and you guys do your magic, and we'll go from there. This is an interesting one. Chase Hughes. Do you guys know who Chase Hughes is by chance? Anybody?
Yes, I do. He's a Navy. He's a fellow Mets member.
Yeah.
Who claims that he can detect lies. And
what do you think of him?
Yeah. I don't think. I think there is some element of truth to it, but that 80% of it is inflated.
What was his rate?
I want to say he was a quartermaster.
A lot of training.
Am I that good?
A lot of training and assessment and analyzing human beings and reading human beings and being a quartermaster, right? A lot of training.
So if I'm right, folks, then Chase Hughes is a quartermaster chief in the Navy, and that's what he will tell everyone, that he had Navy training and that he made the rank of chief petty officer. If that's true, then yours truly, Leroy Brown, as a chief petty officer in the intelligence field, is about 10 times more qualified to do Chase Hughes' job than Chase Hughes.
So wait a minute, your last name is Brown?
As far as everybody knows, he doesn't want the Tim Pool treatment. So yes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking bad Leeroy Brown. That's all.
That's what it was for. He's centered around training, behavioral science, and interrogation related instruction, not a traditional combat arms rate. Bullshit. What was his rate? He earned the master training specialist qualification. He served as a naval. Hold on. I'm trying to find.
If you pull up if you pull up a picture of him, there's a shot of him wearing his blues, and very clearly you can see one of his patches. It's quartermaster.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. I trust you implicitly, but you know me. I gotta have my sources. Former U.S. Navy chief, pay grade E7, specializing behavior profile, human intelligence and interrogation training work. It doesn't give his NEC code. What the fuck? Now I got to go to other sources. Now I'm really interested. Jennifer McCarver's donation. Matt, don't forget to ask Dan about pizza. Didn't we do this? Dan, pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Is it fascist?
Fascist?
I'm kidding. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? Is it okay or not okay?
Only on Canadian bacon pizza.
Yeah, but that's middle. It's either yes or it's no, Daniel.
I'm gonna say yes.
Fucking
Matt.
Yeah.
When you pull up Chase Hughes, Chief Petty Officer, and take a look at the images, the very first return on X is him in his blues, and you can see his patch.
Z4FM just threw out $5 in the chat.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, so let's talk about this, because now I'm getting pissed. He's a shopkeeper. When the hell is he working human? Come on. Dude, I just looked him up, and his rate is nowhere to be found. It's not on his personal profile. It's not even on any research. Suzanne McGoran, $20. God bless you all. Thank you so
Suzanne.
much. So hold on a second. This is important. Dan, you're a traitor, by the way. No pineapple on pizza. You know better.
Pineapple on pizza is fascist. It's
That's right.
racism.
That's right. It's
I'm
racism.
getting beat up all over the place, man. I love my pineapple on my Canadian bacon. I'm
Holy shit.
sorry. In fact, I will, when Terry and I go out, or if I go out by myself, I will get pizza with pineapple on it because my wife hates it. But when I'm alone, and sometimes I bring it home and put it in the refrigerator, just to fuck with her.
Yeah. Well, everybody, it's a very hot topic here. You know, a lot of people have opinions on it, and it's always 50-50. All right. So the reason why I have and this is so funny. Oh my God, dude. Chase Hughes became a leading expert in human behavior, intelligence, and interrogation, developing unique behavior pilot systems for human intelligence and Q Prime for analyzing behavior. It doesn't say what he did in the Navy. 20 years career in the Navy. I have never, with the sources that I have found it difficult to find someone's rate or MOS in the Navy.
Well, maybe he's special.
No,
he's not.
No, we know what special isn't. No. Yeah, no.
So let's see.
Hold on, I got to find out in uniform. I got to see if it's a shopkeeper.
You said you had something, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for it too. Oh my God. I'm looking. Well,
I'm the only guy here who's, by the way, thank you guys. I'm the guy here on the panel that hasn't served, but I do appreciate and love those that you did. So thank you.
Oh,
Thank
we love you
very much, brother.
We love you. I got his picture.
There you go. Of him in the blues.
It's a 300 by 166 though. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Right in that rank.
I'm looking.
Or in the rate.
Holy
right
shit! It is a
crow.
shopkeeper. It's the wheel.
I know. I told you.
I know. I just said I'm agreeing, dude. I'm giving you fucking kudos, man.
I need it faster, okay?
I mean, my God, dude, what do you want, a blowjob? I mean, God, I just gave it to you. So you're right. That's why the words "you're right" came out of my mouth. Here's the picture. And that's shopkeeper. There is absolutely 100% no reason for a shopkeeper to have human intelligence, advanced interrogations training in any way, shape, or form. Dude, this might me sending it to Chief Shipley. I'm not happy. That's bullshit. So let's listen to him. This is a segue, folks.
Mental discomfort says, I don't want to.
I listen to this and I'm like, this is bullshit. And as a person who studied behavioral science, as a person who went through advanced interrogation training, Leeroy's also been through similar training. I'm like, this is what you don't do.
Just lie.
Well, no, not the lie part. It's just listen to this. You'll understand when I do this. I know everyone's like, what's going on here? Well, this is what we do in this show. Sometimes we uncover things in real time. Watch this and you tell me what you think and try to be unbiased, even though you heard what I thought. Watch this.
The fastest way to read a human being, number one way, is to keep one question in your head. It is, what does this person want me to feel about them? And what do they want me to notice? That's going to show you the beginnings of understanding the mask that people wear, because everyone wears some kind of a mask. The mask is made up of the things that this person built to conceal shame. So shame creates cognitive dissonance, which is a mental discomfort. Mental discomfort says, I don't want to be this uncomfortable in front of people. That creates a mask. So if I'm seeing somebody who's acting like he's posturing all the time, he's yelling, he's puffing his chest out, the mask is usually the opposite of what it's concealing. So I'm seeing a fearful little boy that's afraid of being hurt.
A chihuahua.
Yeah, I'm seeing a chihuahua that's barking, and if I bark enough, no one's going to hurt me. The fastest way to read a...
Tim Pool? Okay. First of all, definition of cognitive dissonance. I've never
Apparently
seen.
Tim's
Anyway,
going off tonight.
That was the first thing I picked up on.
You butchered that definition. You just talk about selecting the words. Tim Pool's going off tonight. We'll talk about it in a second. Leeroy, you take it because you know what I'm going to say. And Chief, you outrank me. Go.
Sure. Okay. So for Chase Hughes, fellow mess member, but is also a quartermaster, when he claims that he has human intelligence training and that he built an entire career, and true enough, he did. It is probable that he did brief people at very high levels. Here's the thing. If he did get such training, it wouldn't have been through the Navy. He would have gotten that on his own. Maybe he paid for it through a college. Maybe he used his GI money to go through a psychology class. I don't know. But as a quartermaster, you did not receive any human training, sir. That being said, they say that every good lie is about 80% truth. And so when I hear that video, there's quite a bit of it that makes sense. What he's describing is people's personalities and the things that we want to shield for ourselves from everyone else, right? If everyone knew that, like, I was a chronic masturbator, or if I was an alcoholic, or right, then the one thing you're going to do is try and lead people down a different path in order to conceal all of that. That's just the way it works, Chase. So when you say that you have like this ultimate training and are able to pick up on people's lies, I've seen his videos. One of the first things that he says is, if you can tell if a person lies a lot, because they'll have crow's feet here, and because they'll have lines on their forehead where they have to like scrunch up the top of their face. That's all horseshit.
It's horseshit.
Complete. It's all horseshit. It's all been disproven. And that is not how we train our troops to assess whether or not a subject, a human intelligence person, somebody in custody, how to get the truth out of them. That's not how we do it. We don't assess things like that. What you do is you write down everything that they've said, and then you check it for validation. You have to validate that information, then move from there. But you can't just on the fly, oh, that person is lying. And I know because they have a crow's feet right here. That's not how it works.
Quickly before Dan goes, the first thing you establish in an interrogation is the parameters of rules that are set.
Correct.
The rules that are set is the first thing you establish. The second thing is establish some form of rapport or trust or lack thereof, and understanding what it's going to take to move the human intelligence target to that level of trust. What he's talking about is like First of all, that is cognitive dissonance. He has a belief that everybody is wrapped in one little pigeonhole. That is the definition of cognitive dissonance. His belief system is going to qualify and quantify his biases for every person he interrogates. That's the last thing you have to do. That is the last thing you should do, because you're going to miss the truth. This is what we found out in Afghanistan. It's what we found out in Iraq, is that the people who we were interviewing and interrogating were sociopathic, and they were homicidal, and they could lie, and they could cover their feelings, and they understood how to do that, considering the CIA trained most of them to resist Russian interrogation. They use these tactics against us. So for this guy to sit and say, I was a master interrogator, dude, you're a chronic masturbator with the truth, because
so is he out there? This guy, so he's like doing the talk. He's out there doing the speaking thing and making a buck off that. Is that what's going on?
He gives speeches to companies.
He's a mentalist.
How to improve their
He's a mentalist.
And he, I just looked it up. It says Chase Hughes' net worth roughly $450 million. So what he has said, people have bought.
Whatever.
He is worth something, but here's the thing. He has built this empire based off of a complete fabrication. And that's actually, I mean, there's some level of kudos that I want to give to the guy, but I also know it to be complete horseshit too.
Is chronic masturbation mean that I've done it twice?
Nobody would ever hear from me again.
Is chronic masturbation definition that I've done it twice since the show started? I'm just making sure we understand each other. Is that chronic? Leeroy's like, I'm done.
I mean, ask Tubin. Tubin knows.
That's right.
Only if there's eye lock involved.
That's right. Well, it's Dan's hair. It's getting to me. Listen, guy's worth $450 million. That doesn't make you credible. Okay.
Right.
Howard Hughes was one of the most disgusting and disreputable human beings on the planet. And so, listen, Chase Hughes, I'm not coming down. I'm not even going to say stolen valor. That's none of my business. But if you're wearing a shopkeeper insignia on your blues, and you're going to sit here and say that you've worked in human intelligence, which means that your classification had to be, you had to work for a TDY or a special unit. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
No.
I'm like, it's just, and I'm looking at your campaign service medals. Things aren't adding up, but you're worth $450 million. You obviously doing something right. And I'm not even saying that you're not selling it properly. Most people will listen to that and go, oh yeah, but you're taking the position, not that you're somebody who is a psychiatrist, psychologist, or a sociologist. You're saying you're an interrogator. And as people who did that for a living and do this for a living, everything you said is antithetical to the basic rules of interrogation from the purpose and the way that you would have learned it in the area that you said you learned it in. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying what you're doing can't be practically applied in sociology, psychology, in any way, shape, or form. But I think interrogation is not what you just said. It's not about you. It's about the person sitting across from you. Go ahead.
The bulk of what he tries to sell is the ability to read people.
Tommy.
Thank you, Thomas Cawthorn. Yeah.
I'd rather listen to people in sales like, I don't know, Brian Tracy or Tom Hopkins. I mean, if I'm gonna listen to people to teach me how to read others, I would rather listen to sales masters than I would that guy. That's just me. So.
Real quick, Tommy Cawthon. Was it Tommy Cawthon who sent that in?
Cawthon, yeah, 105.
Tommy Cawthon, $105. Thank you, Tommy. That means a huge benefit for us. And he said, this is for checking up on me the other day. Thanks, Matt. It meant a lot. I got an appointment today. That was a bot. I didn't check up on you. It was just, I have an AI bot that scrolls my email and answers everybody. Tommy, of course, I love you and we appreciate you and we care about you. This is why the dummies are always trusted. It doesn't matter what we do. You guys always hit goal. It's just like, we don't need to sit here and make up stories and make you guys feel shitty that our show's going to go off the air. You guys are amazing. Listen,
thank you, Tommy.
Yes. And all respect to Mr. Hughes. You're a mammoth of a man. You've made $450 million. You're incredible. But I question your comment because I believe that people are more complex and you're using a singular solution for a multifaceted personality. And I just disagree with you wholeheartedly. Some people will puff up like a bantam rooster because that's how they were taught to communicate. And that's the only other way. That's the only medium they have in their pocket. Some people hit and are abusive because that's what they grew up with. Saying that people do a certain thing or act a certain way. So like Dan has long hair because he wants to be a rock and roll star and never was. So he's living vicariously through rock and roll. That's stupid. Or that Yul Brynner, Leeroy couldn't get the Yul Brynner lead role in King and I because he had hair. So now he's proverbial bald here and mentally in order to go ahead and live vicariously through the King and I. You just can't. You just can't randomly say shit and just put people in boxes because, especially in interrogation, all you're going to do is make horrible mistakes. And it's going to get people killed. Okay, that's it. You were a shopkeeper, bro. Seriously. Where's Britain going to be in 5 years? This is a good topic, and we're gonna stay a little bit extra because I have said I want to reassess my timeline. I said within 10 years, Britain will fall. 6 out of 10 politicians will be Arabs. And Muslim. I'm going to move that up to 5 years. Where is Britain going to be in 5 years? And you know my opinion. It'll be the first European country to fall to Muslim rule. You're seeing Saudi Arabia pushing up on the border of Yemen right now. You're seeing the Middle East that wants expansionism. Won't be the first time that the Middle East has tried to move into Europe. If this continues, we're going to see Europe fall. Here's a video. And I found this to be extremely interesting. I think both of you gentlemen and the viewers will find this to be the same. Listen to this, and then we will discuss amongst ourselves.
Where can you see Britain in 5 years' time from now? You've probably thought about this.
I have, and I didn't want to answer it because if we carry on with this trajectory, either we come to a civil war or martial law.
What's martial law?
It's where the government put the troops on the streets, and if you're out after a certain time, you'll be shot because they won't be able to control the outrage and anger that's welling up that I see every single day when you have government decisions that are actually murdering people. When you've got £50 million spent on the nation of sanctuary, but you've got ambulances queued up for 15 or 18 hours with people in the back of them in hospitals and dying needlessly. There's going to come a point, and that point is within that 5-year bracket.
Do you think it's purposely done by design? Do you think the whole importation of illegal migrants from countries that have been born and raised to hate us, do you think that's all part of the plan?
Absolutely.
So they can enforce martial law, which is communism on steroids?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. And that's where we're going. You know, the digital ID's got nothing at all to do with we'll be able to stop migrants from working.
That's insulting.
What glue?
All right. So there's a whole
Where
bunch
can
there.
you see Britain?
We're talking about replacement theory. We're talking about so let's
not a theory.
Yeah, well, I know that, and that's why I want to frame this conversation very purposely. So I'm just going to ask a series of questions because I haven't explored this in my head, and I think we have 3 very intelligent people here, and we can do it together. So here's the question: why? That's why we're in Ask the Why shirt tonight. This is that's the Don't Unfriend Me Ask the Why shirt. You can ask the what, the who, the when, and all that. The why, that's an important part. Who benefits if you replace the current ruling class, which is not happening? So therefore, you would have to replace the citizenry of European and U.S. countries with third world countries. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Good question. I mean, I think it kind of is backfiring in a way that because they've taken over the governments. You know,
that's right.
The parliaments, the councils, the boards of I don't know how it works over there in Europe, but similar to here, but just different names. And once they start taking over the government, then you've lost control. You see the Democrats do this all the time. They try to cater to a certain crowd, and then that crowd takes over. You could see it in Congress. Look at they're caving to the likes of AOC and Jasmine Crockett and all of this because they're loud, vocal, you know, the hip thing to do. And so, but they invited these people in.
But why?
Europe, a 5-year estimate? I think that's generous. I think that I think it could be less.
This will move the conversation forward real quick, Dan. John Soto
Yeah.
says, you guys are trying to make a buck by spreading fake conspiracy theories. If it's fake and conspiracy, that's redundant, by the way. So there's no reason for you to say fake and conspiracy theory because conspiracy theory already is fake. So that's like
Maybe he should call in.
That's like saying fake theory. I'm sorry.
Yeah, give us a call.
And insulting Democrats to get more listeners, to get more advertising money. Well, let's be fair.
insulted everyone
We
today.
insult everyone today. So that's not fair. Here's the phone number, 276-200-2105. John, call and make your points. The first thing I want you to go ahead and do for me when you call in is tell me what conspiracy theory that I have spread. Because we are adamant against conspiracy theory. We don't do that here. You notice how we're asking the question? We didn't say this was happening. We are asking the question as to why. Who benefits? Why would you want to replace white Christians, WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, with Muslim, third world country, Somalians, Hindus, whatever else you have, Indian, I don't care. Why? Who benefits? So why would you want to do that? So that's what we're exploring. I don't understand what you're talking about, conspiracy theory. So Leeroy, so Dan is where I am at. That question I have not answered yet. And I'm trying to uncover the why. Why would anyone want that? Why? A ruling class who is all white, why would you want to go ahead and remove and replace with unfettered access? Is it because the citizenry demands too much of the people? And by changing the third world country expectation in the United States, by lowering the standards and quality of life here in the United States, but alternatively increasing the quality of life of these people, you can gain more power. Maybe like a hard reset on currently where Europe and the United States sits. So you could gain benefit by taking advantage of people at a higher rate and clip than the current American and European expects.
Sure.
What are your thoughts?
I think that 5-year timeline might be a little soon, but I also think that 10 years is too far out. It'll occur somewhere between here and there. When I think of Great Britain and I think of the leaders and the style of government that they have, they don't embrace the same freedoms that we do. Konstantin Kisin, you guys know who that is.
Yes.
He did a video. It wasn't, but it was probably several months ago. But he went on to explain that, in Russia, 400 people had been arrested for their social media posts. And the guy who was taking the interview was like, oh, that's terrible. He's like, yeah, you know how many that was in Great Britain? 3,300 over the same year. And so that he was making the point that they don't have the same freedoms that we do. And it's because of that if I hate to say it this way, right? But the extremist Muslim community, the people who are seeking to gain power, if they put the right people in the right places in British Parliament, that's going to happen. And the only headlines that you will see after that, right, are not necessarily for Sharia law or for this or that. It's going to be like the set from V for Vendetta, and you're going to hear that constant headline, this is for your safety.
Leslie Keith says one world order, liberal world order, globalism. That is the effect. I want the cause. I want to know why. We have to, you guys, either we need to do the next show on this for 2 hours or we need to start scratching the surface. The only thing I can think of is but it's not evil because it can't just be evil. It's got there's a reason. Elitists work in the best interest of whom? Elitists. So the question is this. Do we think it's because easier to control, less expectation for quality of life, less money invested? Okay, maybe. But could it possibly be energy, oil, Middle East, money, expansionism? What is it? Because simply saying one world order, one world currency, we know that's what globalists want. But is that the only way that they can okay, here's the question. This is a good thought. This will get us there. Is it the only way that they can achieve globalism, one world currency, world police, almost like king of the world instead of king of a continent, is by replacing the current opposition to that expectation? Is it because England, Germany, France understand and may not execute individualism as well as the United States, but still is a Western civilization? And the United States is that really overthrowing Europe's ideals, and the United States will ultimately allow globalism to take over. Do you see what I'm saying? Because the rest of the world... Go ahead.
I think I do. I'm going to ask a clarifying question.
Yeah.
Are you saying then that this is in effect, because they can't necessarily get to the United States, so what they're doing is attacking Western values
Yes.
by attacking the only geolocated country that they can get to that has Western valuys?
And don't forget this. Don't forget Israel, because they're hitting Israel just as hard. So now you got Hong Kong, now you got Taiwan, you've got Israel, you've got Europe, all Western civilization standards that are all being abandoned, and essentially saying that these countries in one way or another are a detriment to world peace and global standards, that Europe is evil. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, you got to uncover the why.
Your original question was why.
Yes.
And, we can make observations about what is happening, and that's obvious. You see it, all over the place. So why would people in power allow this to happen? Dude.
Mike Wazowski has a good one, Dan. This is a longtime listener and friend. Can I just read this?
Go ahead, Mike.
It says, short-term thinking. The European and U.S. birth rates are too low to sustain the debt, so import the third world to drive GDP for now. By the time these one world order goons are long gone, it will be too late, and our nations will fall. They are just trying to buy 10 or 15 years of time, because right now the lock of power is insurmountable. They are going to lose it because of the birth rate. So therefore, in order to continue the flow of money, continue the flow of having enough able-bodied constituents to support this paper sun that we've created, you import third world countries here, and this is a temporary solution to a permanent problem, which will ultimately lead to the fall of Western civilization. That's pretty fucking good to me.
Yeah, the birth rate thing, I don't worry about that as much. But that's a good point. That's certainly plausible for sure.
What's the difference between the United States being able to support itself and not support itself? 40 million people? 50 million people? What was the fear with COVID? The fear of COVID was that we would lose a very large portion of not just elderly, but young people and middle-aged people. And to replenish that would require a birth rate that is so substandard for where we currently are at. That's the question.
But that was lies. I mean, they sold those lies to Trump, and he went ahead with warp speed and everything else. That I think we could all probably agree that was the biggest failure of his first term.
Yes.
That's
is it too big for this podcast right now, or do we need to
set
some time
man.
aside?
Yeah, it's like its own podcast. That's like, hey, we're going to cover this topic. Let's do a little bit of research and get together and spit it out.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
No. That's the monster of a podcast, and the only way to attack that would be one that would take hours, and the only way you could do it is one bite at a time.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Do a series. Do a series of on this, right?
Yeah, no, I think it needs to happen.
I was able.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, dude.
I came up with something while you guys were talking, and I realized that a comfortable people are always willing to compromise on things. And let's face it, Britain is pretty comfortable. They have enjoyed a lot of Western culture, a lot of Western values that has made them very comfortable. So the bulk of the population of Great Britain is willing to compromise on things that they wouldn't have normally done. And as we know, like that famous Reagan quote that, freedom is but one generation away from evaporating.
I love that.
And I think those are the lessons that Great Britain is about to realize very harshly within the next 7 years.
John Soto has decided to come back. And John, here's the thing. Is your small penis and small peen energy is your thing. It's not my thing. You just made a comment and said you would be hard-pressed to find a person from a third world country that is dumber than a Republican voter. That statement alone in itself, it's also, it's going to get you thrown out of the lefty club, because what you're saying is that people in third world countries are invariably stupid, but
he has a bigger forehead than I do.
Yeah, not as dumb as Republican voters. But what's interesting is that if we're so dumb, why are you so much of a chicken shit that you can't call in?
Yeah, just call in, dude.
See, that's the interesting thing. 276-200-2105. You can't argue the point. So what you're going to do is you're going to use ad hominem because you don't have the intellectual capacity. So you're projecting. You know you don't have the goods. You don't from a physical standpoint, because I'm pretty confident all three of you could literally pummel your ass into an oblivion physically. Mentally, you also know that you can't call in too. Why don't you just make the effort? Do one. We all know the answer to that.
Well, at least he's contributing, participation trophy. At least you're contributing to the algorithms and adding a few more pennies to your payout at the end of the month. I mean, whatever.
Reagan was a crook who destroyed the middle class. Who has the largest middle class in the world?
The largest what?
I'm talking to our dipshit John.
The middle class.
Who has the largest ratio of large corporations to small corporations and small businesses in the world? Who has the largest middle class in the world? Who's the richest country in the world?
That's us. That's us.
Suck it, buddy.
We have the most number of millionaires and billionaires.
Forget it. I know who he is.
When you look at it in terms of what is it, the UN? I think it's the UN that set what the world poverty standard is. So it was at one point like $2 a day. No American that exists, no one makes less than that. So by UN standards, there is no poverty in America.
We're all rich. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a sign over every socialist door that says, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here." I love that.
See, John, you're so fucking stupid that you allow me to goad you into posting more, and then you get frustrated, and I recognize your idioms. The things that you misspell in words are consistent. So I know who you are. You're balls, you fucking idiot.
Is he posting more stuff?
Oh yeah, I out my trolls. They try to come in and they try to get clever after I ban them and create new accounts, and then I always know who they are. So
I have one. Her name is Jules. I don't know if she's hit you yet, but yeah.
Well, yeah, they're my stalkers. I gotta love them. All right, listen, we're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna call it good. We're gonna let Dan off the hook. I want to show you the copium in this video. And
I'm all good. I keep looking at Leeroy. I'm like, man, he's sipping whiskey, and I keep thinking, my whiskey is upstairs, and
go get it. I've got some right here. If you would come out here, it's going to be a 27-hour flight though, because we're
going to be, my last flight from Tampa to Seattle literally was a 27-hour flight across the country. Flights canceled, staying in hotel rooms, all that shit. And,
when you come,
I'm going to get you out. I'm getting out your way. We're going to do this.
You do, and you can stay here. I don't give a shit. It's a beautiful house. You have anything you want. Would love to have you on the show. And you need to tell Scott Pressler, who I talked to multiple times, that he's like, I'm trying to get Virginia to win an election right now. I'm like, bro, we live in Virginia.
Yes.
If you could get him on the show, I know he wanted to come on. He was open to it, but then he's like, my wife called. He's like, I'm trying to win an election. I got to go. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, this guy's really busy, and I know he's busy. But
he's super hard to nail down. I was fortunate enough that I'm plugged in with some Republican outlets here in Washington State, and so and including the chairman of the Republican Party. And so when he came, oh shit,
God love her.
Go over to Rumble and go look up the Nunn Report. Dan Nunn. Your wife is awesome. She's like my wife. She takes care of you. Here is Newscomb and Tim Balls. No balls, Tampon Tim, and I just want you to listen to the copium. I'm not going to make
that face.
I know, just it gets really bad. I'm not no copium. except from these two, I am not going to respond. I'm going to let Dan and Leeroy take it out with these guys. But just I want you to see the cope. It's the projection is so bad. Here it is.
But I think this notion of toxicity in masculinity needs to be separated. And I think it's been conflated. And I think we're going to have to work on that a little bit. And I think there is a crisis.
I think some of us scare them. I think I scare them a little bit why they spend so much time on this. No, I'm serious, because I can fix a truck. They know I'm not bullshitting on this. Yeah. I'm not putting this in people's grill. I don't know if my identity is not hunting. My identity is not football coaching. My identity is not, a beard and a truck.
But I think this.
I love how he has paint by numbers Starry Night behind him.
Notion of identity is
saying,
not.
That's all I'm going to say.
I was trying to read the books, but they say classical.
He's so masculine.
Yeah. So I'm going to let Dan go last. And so Leeroy, you start off. What Newscomb and Walls? Go ahead. It's yours. Take it.
When they start talking about toxic masculinity, what they really mean is there's a level of, we don't like really masculine men. We don't like the ones who are the actual alphas, who have direction, they don't like the competition. And don't get me wrong. I see both of them as weak leaders, but they're still leaders. So it's not like I'm trying to attack them for being men. That's not it. I'm saying that they can't appreciate what real men are like, because they're not. It's the same argument from like the transgenderism, right? If I claim to be a woman, well, I'm not, because I don't know what that means. That's the level of disconnect. They don't know what it means to be a real man, because they're not.
Do you think they're effeminate because of their liberal policies? Because
I'm asking a question. To demonize something that they're not. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. So the question I have for you is it because of their liberal policies? Because earlier today, when the same interview, they're like, Newsom is like, well, Donald Trump called you the R word. And Tim Walz is like, he did call me the R word. I'm like, you're on your own podcast. Why can't you say retard? Why does that?
Fucking retards. It's retarded that it won't say that. I mean, how much? I mean, you have to. It's so retarded. Tim Walz is so retarded that he had to have a press conference to convince people that he wasn't retarded. I don't know how you get any more retarded than that.
Right.
And talking about the thumbs, man. Gavin Newsom, he's got the thumbs. I think he's a thumb in guy, like from the receiving end.
I hope he runs for president. I hope he has to address his alcoholism, his affairs. I like, not that it will matter in today's society, but he's got a lot to answer for, plus COVID and the spending and everything else. Just for anyone who is doubting what I'm saying, and I've been covering this, Leeroy's been covering this for quite a while. Dan has talked about this. The rate of baby boys called Muhammad has soared across Europe. Now, if you're looking for any Middle Eastern female names, they're not having little girls. They're having a lot of boys. Austria, 0.6% in 2000, 0.5 in most recent year. There's a 732% increase. Ireland, 0.9 to 0.4, 372% increase. Poland, 0 to 0.1, a 217% increase. Italy, 0.7 to 0.23, 184% increase. Folks, if you go, well, that number isn't that big, it represents almost 120,000 people.
Yeah.
I have one more thing that I wanted to address on.
Go for it, buddy.
And you're gonna like this.
Okay.
So
does it involve tampons? Because
actually, it might.
Shotguns.
I feel like real men would fight for the liberty of their base, of their constituents, but a more maternal instinct is to try and take care of everyone else.
Oh,
you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, so they're more effeminate in women. They have women intuition versus men's.
Far more women into it. Yes, correct.
So their natural inclination are to be nest creators, motherly.
Yes. But they're fake about it.
I know they're fake.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're trying to do is cater and like, I'm going to be the caregiver,
Just like
which
Chase
is the Democrat
Hughes, just like
way.
Candace
But,
Owens.
Yeah.
but being a caregiver is not being a leader. I mean, a leader gives care, but that's a result of his leadership, not the other way around.
I agree with you.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are making sense. We're wrapping it up right here, and that's why we have you on the show. You make great sense. John Soto doesn't like you because he's attracted to you. 1961, London.
I never get.
Well, he hasn't seen me below the waist. He's just seen my shirt.
Well, I win there. John knows. 1961, London. This isn't about white people, okay? So relax. This isn't about white majority. This is about literally whites becoming a minority for no other reason than it's politically advantageous and financially advantageous to do so. Watch.
I'm watching.
This is London.
Oh, I see what's happening.
This is
I
London.
see what's happening.
This is London.
Damn.
Dude.
Fucking insane, dude.
It is completely insane. So this is, to say the replacement theory isn't, we can keep denying it. And we can. And then you're going to see, if you think, quickly, you look at feminism, you look at the first and second wave of feminism, it's for equal rights and representation, want to burn my bras, blah, blah, blah. I don't want my vagina grabbed in the workplace. We get it. 100%. Okay, fine. I don't think feminism was the greatest thing in the world, but at least first and second wave, you have a reason. Third and fourth was all about hating men. That's what third and fourth wave feminism. Every single minority power who is subjugated and relegated to a lower tier on classism, when they gain power, they do the exact same fucking thing that predominant group was when they were in power. Women have done it. Blacks have done it. Every major religion, you can look at Christians and subjugated by the Moors and the Saxons. You can go into the Bolshevik Revolution. You can go into the Sung Dynasty. It does not matter. When the lower class group gains power, they treat the ruling class or the elites exactly. The guillotine is a perfect example. French Revolution. The people who invented the fucking guillotine were killed. The dissidents were murdered.
Robespierre. Yeah.
This is no joke, folks. So when you're seeing this, I'm telling you, as white people, like, you're just afraid that you're going to lose whiteness. No, I'm afraid I'm going to lose my fucking life. I'm afraid we're going to be put into cattle cars because that's what happens. And I understand what happened to the Jews. I understand what happened to black people. I understand what happened to Native Americans. I don't want it to happen to me. And just because people did it a long time ago doesn't mean that I deserve it to have happened to me. Last thoughts on that, and then I really will go. Sorry.
Dan, you're first.
Oh, I mean, all I know is, the trans thing. I mean, when the trans dude goes to the doctor and he informs he has prostate cancer in his vagina, that's weird, right? And it's like almost tampon Tim weird. I throw that out because I lost track of the conversation, so I'm gonna throw out a fucking joke. So
it's okay.
That's my last words.
It's fine. It's good enough, man. Listen, we're all over the place tonight. We're going fast tonight. We broke you in slow on the first time. Now this is the way we go. We go at 100 miles an hour. Leroy, any other thoughts on that?
Yes. What you're describing, I'm going to reword it, and you tell me if I'm on the right track here.
Okay.
What Matt is describing when he's talking about women's rights, when we're talking about BLM, is that movements in general, when they pick up speed, they have a hard time slowing down, and then they eventually overstep into that very boundary that they were trying to prevent to begin with. So women's rights, first, perfect example. First and second phase were just about the women's rights. Good on them. Third and fourth, hating men. True. BLM, same thing. Started off with, hey, let's not kill black people in the street. Somehow that evolved into, no, now blacks are getting their own dorms and colleges. And we saw just earlier in the show that it was a group, right? It was a group that disavowed whites into their group. Things like that. When movements pick up speed, they have a hard time slowing down, and then they eventually overstep. Is that right?
Sounds about right to me.
Sounds good.
All right. Dan, where can they find you and experience the Dan Nunn Show?
Thanks for having me on here, Matt. I mean, this is this is my second time on here. I hope it's not my last. I fucking love hanging out with you guys. And you can find me at right here on Rumble, rumble.com/The Nunn Report on weekdays at 4 Eastern time, right here on Rumble, the free speech alternative to ScrewTube. So make sure to check it out. I don't do ScrewTube or TikTok because I get too many strikes. Bam, I'm gone. So you can find me right here where we exercise free speech. I want to thank a quick shout out, man.
Yeah.
To my chat that jumped in here and hung out on the Rumble chat. A lot of you guys aren't seeing that because I know that this is big on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook too. I got 2 profiles. But
yeah, you have to.
Regular, at the Nunn Report is the regular one. At the Nunn Report US is my backup. So there you go.
We're going to do it again, man. We love having you on here. Damani, we were just chatting with him. We're going to get him back on too. And then we're just doing the full circuit. And hopefully Tim Pool, listen, I heard he went off tonight again. And you know what?
Yes,
maybe that's good for him. Listen, I just want him to be safe. I want everyone to be safe. Political violence is stupid. It's dumb, and you should not get shot at for your opinion. But you know what? I think people are going to continue to do things like this because they don't have the ability to have a conversation. They don't want to have a conversation. They just want the conversation to stop because it makes them feel small and inferior. And that's we can root that back to your daddy and mommy. That has nothing to do with us. I'm not your problem. You're your problem. So stop being violent. Folks, we can see you tomorrow night. It'll be Wednesday. Olivia and I will be on air. Thursday, it's going to be nobody because we are going to Hayden's Christmas Carol concert. And maybe might come on late. Then Friday night, it's Olivia and myself. Dan, thanks for being here, dude. It was awesome to see you. Thanks for staying late with us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night. God bless. Take care of each other. Good night. Love you, Leeroy. See you, buddy.
Be good.
Bye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia.
Thanks, Dan.
Military analysis.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah, Dan, that was like 2.5 hours, right?
Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.